Well, hello. I'm Matt. Welcome to the good life. I do a little radio show from my backyard in the hills of Encino. I'm a lucky guy. In fact, I'd say luckier than most. I have lots of friends that I like to call stars. Hey, in fact, there's one now. You probably know Ryan Stiles, Drew Carey Show. Whose line is it anyway? Black Hawk Down?
I wasn't in Black Hawk Down, Matt. That wasn't me, okay? What are you doing here?
The gate was actually open. I thought I'd take a little jacuzzi-roo.
I got company coming over, okay? People that matter, okay? Get up, go.
Bubbles feel so good,
Look,
Ryan.
Matt, you know what? You gotta stop doing this, okay? I can't be coming home with the wife and kids and you're in my tub, okay? Just get out.
I'm not wearing nothing.
Doohickey, you know, the doohickey that rolls.
Hi, this is Meatloaf. Okay, kids, you know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's Outlaw Radio time!
The most imitated radio station in the nation.
I'm through with standing in line for some fun to begin, but I found a good thing leaving me with a grin. It's time for Outlaw Radio to begin.
You have the great Billy Gibbons here? Yeah.
It's very cool.
He's just passed out. Yeah. Hey, that didn't sound too bad. Huh?
At the Lighten Up Lounge. Oh, man. We're here with Matt. Oh, yeah. At the Lighten Up Lounge. Oh, little Outlaw Radio. We're here with Matt.
And he's not fat.
We got all these guys and girls in the house. Let me tell you, that's where it's at. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Allen. Pass me a gallon.
Oh, yeah. Yay, da. How many times am I going to mess up this guy's name, man? This is not easy. George Demetrios Papadopoulos. Well, there, it came out pretty easily. You know, I'm going to want to say Snagalugga. What was this?
Snuffleupagus?
Yeah, Snuffleupagus.
Is he Greek or what?
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. George Demetrios Papadopoulos. And the question is,
Where's the best Euro sandwich
does
in
Trump
town? still
hate him? And the second question is, where's the best Euro sandwich in town?
I think that would be
He's got to know his way around Euros, man. Here we go, getting ethnic. What's up with that? Welcome to the show. I'm Magic Matt. On YouTube, on Rumble, on X, a.k.a. Twitter, Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio. Punch it in exactly that way. So old George seems like a pretty cool dude who'll be smoking cigars with us, hopefully imbibing in a little bourbon. And I have a bourbon story to tell you.
Yeah, don't give me your good stuff.
In the next hour. Well, we got old Ralph. Ralph's back in the saddle today, and Ralph will be, if I know Ralph, and I think I do, he'll be bringing us some fine quality bourbon product. So that'll be fun. By the way, everyone watching us on the Rumble, on YouTube, on X, and listening to us on the greatest radio stations in the world, and most of them in Wisconsin, because we love our Wisconsinites. I want you to know that I wish you could be here with us. I wish we had a room large enough so you could all be assembled here enjoying great bourbon. And then we have comestibles as well, not to mention food.
I'd like to have Betty and Frenchie here.
That's not Betty and Frenchie, but we have so many nice people from Wisconsin.
Tony and Beth.
Tony and Beth,
right.
Yes, and the What'll It Be guy, and
by the way,
myriad of Wisconsinites.
Try more of his.
Oh, yeah, Steve Abbott, of course.
Steve Abbott, I want to say, is the originator of
He is.
of everything.
Well, he
He
started
is.
this whole contest.
Steve
You
Abbott.
call it a contest. I mean,
Steve Abbott. Well, yeah, if you choose, I mean, it seems to me that you've sort of thrown your hat in the ring by sending us
Yes.
wonderful sausage and cheeses from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And now I get another gift, but it's from another state. And that I received yesterday, and I'll tell you all about that in a few minutes. So I guess the contest is brewing, and don't be outdone because what is a contest? It's all about outperforming the other folks.
I mean, we'll
so
accept-
if we get a big old crate of meat and cheese
Right.
about like that, well, you got to make it just a little bit bigger, right?
And I'm thinking the next step is maybe a gas card or something. I mean,
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
throwing it out there.
All right.
It's getting ugly.
Toy-
It's just getting ugly.
Maybe a Toyota 4Runner. Biden deliberately sabotaging the surprise element in response to a Iran-backed attack on U.S. troops. Well, because he assures us that he doesn't want a wider war. Now, who wants a wider war? The Democrats do. See, the Democrats like war.
All about it.
Us on the right, we don't really like war, and we know that you have to speak softly and carry a big old stick
Stop
to
the
prevent this crap, man.
Shut it down before it happens.
And I mean, how much? And make sure Mark's mic is. He was talking just then, and I couldn't hear him, which could be a blessing in disguise. Yeah, yeah. But you were going to say.
I was going to say I wanted Steve
Well, yeah,
to
here's-
show up in an 18.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what he did. I'll tell you what Mark did, and I hope this resonates with you beautiful folks listening to Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio, because many of you have 9 to 5 gigs or whatever hours you happen to work, and let's say you're in charge of 100 people or even 5 people, and you're their boss, and you set things up perfectly, right? You set it up for the day because you're the one in charge.
Normal.
Right? Yeah. Well, I set Mark's mic up perfectly.
Yeah.
And now, and by the way, just turn his mic all the way down. And he, I guess, decides that, well, he knows better, and so rearranges the microphone in an improper way,
look at that.
which, by the way, is why you could barely hear him.
He's talking on the top. of it.
So you're thinking, God, Matt, you get so annoyed. I do get so annoyed because there's a reason for the way things are set up. I'll give you a story that you may be interested in. It's a classic Rick Dees story. And a couple things. First of all, when someone on the Rick Dees morning show, remember him? Big radio star.
Sure.
And I worked with him
Disco
twice.
Duck, all
yeah,
that stuff.
Yeah. I worked with him twice here in Los Angeles. And Rick, when someone on his show would say something that he thought was stupid, and that's the way he'd pronounce it, that's so stupid, then he'd say, it's not your name up there, it's Rick Dees, and I'll be blamed for that stupidity. But more important, his producer, back in those days, we would use what would be called carts.
Right.
And they resemble an 8-track.
I remember them.
And you've got a stack of about 9 of these cart players in front of you, and Rick would insert the 8 tracks, a.k.a. carts, in there for sound effects, for many sound effects. So he'd know exactly where they were. And he'd say, it's okay for the producer, put them in, don't take them out. Right? Put them in, don't take them out. Now, I'm the same damn way. I guess this is why it resonates with me as a radio broad chaser, meant to say caster.
Now, I'm going to walk away. Now, you stay right. Yeah,
No, it's the Monty Python thing. Now, you guard the door. Don't allow him to leave. And then as you walk out, the 2 guardsmen, this would be Mark. Mark would be one of the guardsmen who would be following the guy on the way out. He's, no. You have to stay here and guard and make sure that he doesn't escape.
All right, once again, I'm going to explain it to you.
Yes. So
I want to be a woman.
yeah. So that's the way that works. So put it in, because if the producer takes it out,
Right.
and you're expecting to hit a button on what we call the console or the board,
Screws it
it's
all
not there,
Right.
then it screws up the bit. And once again, it's not, it's not Mark C.G. Boyer on the name of the show, but Magic Matt Allen.
See, here's the thing. I'm with you.
And Tattoo Dave.
Well, I can't-
and producer.
And Tattoo Dave.
I cannot not be this show. I mean, be with you on this because I'm looking at it, and
Yeah.
it bothered me earlier, and I was going to say something to you, but you
Right.
wouldn't have done that.
Why would I have set up the mic in such a fashion
No.
if I wanted the son of a bitch changed?
It's like,
Why?
It's like
Why?
when I'm in a
Help me.
when I'm in a recording studio in a recording booth.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a drop mic in front of my face. I don't touch it.
Are you touching it? No, you're not
I don't
touching
touch it because the engineer and the producer know what they're doing.
Yes, you have to.
That's their job.
And if they don't, then there's a problem. But most of the time,
They do.
They do. There's a reason for things being set up.
Thank you for the lesson.
So Mark, no, it's more than no, because it won't help. Not at this late stage of your life, Mark C.G. Boyer. If for some damn reason you'll never friggin' learn.
No.
Why
why
was the mic set up perfectly
Yeah.
in such a fashion so you could then grab it and talk into the wrong end?
Well, I still see that it's angled wrong.
No, it's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. But
Let him have it that way because then
yeah.
you can't hear him.
yeah.
Well, he's just off.
Yeah.
You screwed yourself,
Now,
Mark.
now,
I can't stand the tinniness of his voice.
now, Tattoo Dave and my brother Mart, do you look at me as being bitchy about this, or can you understand my frustration?
I
Can you
completely.
understand my
I'm the same exact way.
I
Yeah.
completely understand. Dave works for.
Put it
corporate
in.
people. He works.
Don't take it out.
He works for corporate people. He works
Yeah.
for the studios. I've been in the studio myself several times
Yeah.
throughout my life, and you don't mess with pros what they're doing.
No.
And how they do things.
And by the
You
way,
just don't do
it was set up so perfectly and in such a fashion where the common person would look at that and
Yeah.
think, well, that must be set up that way for a reason.
Right.
Right? Must be.
And if he needs it, okay, so if he needs it lowered or something during a break, say, Matt, can you? It's a little uncomfortable.
No. Just simply beg forgiveness. And P.S. I am a beg forgiveness guy, but you know what I'm not? You know what I'm not?
Tolerant.
Listen, I got a lot of problems, But what I'm not a dumbass. I'm not a dumbass. That's what I'm not. I guess I learned the lesson of common sense from my father.
Yeah.
Love me, hate me. I'm a big loudmouth. Much the reason why so many hate Donald Trump. Because he's a big loudmouth, and I can live with that. And I don't come off. This ain't an act, my friends. This is simply me. And things I wouldn't tell you in person will come out here on the radio or on YouTube or on Rumble and X.
And we're gonna get
Twitter.
And we're gonna
And
get
Twitter.
We're gonna get fans out there going, "You guys are so harsh on Mark, and you're so rude."
No.
Oh, it's already
You're hurting his
happened.
feelings.
Marty, what do you mean we're gonna?
Yeah, but this is why. Now can you see why?
Yeah.
It's like it just blows my mind. When I looked over
And he
there,
doesn't get. He's not ashamed. Or not, he has.
He has
doesn't
got
care.
no shame.
No, he does. Mark C.G. Boyer, absolutely no shame. And I'm so glad the camera ain't on him today.
I'm glad he's like 3 feet away from me.
That's
today.
a blessing and a curse.
Really.
All right, this.
Love you, Mark.
Yeah, and by the way, the reason why I have a microphone in front of him is I wanted him to participate in our dialogue. So it's not like I counted him out. I talked to Tattoo Dave, our producer, before. I said, now this is his microphone, so make sure that when he has something to say, we want to hear from him. But right now, it'll sound like crap, so we're not going to hear from him.
No, just don't even use it.
Certainly not in this segment. And I'm really reticent in going over there and fixing the thing at the break.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're a 5-year-old. You're like a 5. But when I was 5, I wouldn't have touched it.
No,
Mark,
man.
do you have anything to say in your defense?
No, because
Notice
we
how you can't hear him?
Yeah, we can't hear him. we can't hear him. Oh, jeez, what a way to
And
start.
I did say, okay, so this chair, because you set everything up last night.
Yes,
Everything.
yes.
So I said to Billy.
Well, because of a cursory note a couple weeks ago
Right.
on our YouTube page from a lovely woman who said, "I love your show, but your cameras suck."
She's pretty blunt.
And she's right, though. She's
I
right.
have improved the cameras today. We're not perfect yet, but we're a lot better than it's been.
So
all
anyway,
right?
this chair to the right.
Because I listen to you. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, unless you're full of crap and you're just pissed off about some bumper we played or something,
Yeah.
a song you don't like, yeah, I'll ignore that.
Get over
but,
it.
yeah.
But this chair to the right of me,
Yeah.
because there's cords, with all the new camera positions and everything.
Right.
I made it clear to Billy. Now let's see if
Billy Dilly, our HR
I
man.
made
I
clear to
said
Billy.
this seat is off limits to no one can sit here.
Right, right.
No one.
So he should be soldering on in, just
bump
like
it into the suit.
just like the guards on Monty Python, any second, and say, "So this is where you wanted me to sit."
I kind of told him, I said, Billy, I don't think there's room for you to
And then Mark C.G. Boyer and Billy shall grab their own room and just do stupid things together.
Mark,
Whatever those are.
Mark, do your feelings
It's
get
just-
hurt? Because I don't think they do.
No,
Stupid.
No, he's just unabashedly
Stupid.
an idiot. And I like this comes from love and frustration.
Of course.
You know, if I didn't love him, I wouldn't say a damn thing about it. Or let's say it's somebody new on the show, first time on the show, and they started messing with it. I would understand,
Sure.
even though I would still think they're stupid.
Stupid.
I would understand.
But if the somebody that's never been around equipment like this, yeah, you would understand. But Mark's been around us and around equipment for several years.
I just had it set up so perfectly.
It's more than several.
You know, and it
Yeah,
just
I
and
know.
it,
I think you need to fix it so we can get past it.
oh, jeez. Well, you can think whatever the hell you want, Tattoo Dave.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't make me
Eugene
do it.
Carroll. Let's talk at the same time because that is the best for the listener.
Yes.
As we smoke, drink, and interrupt on Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio. Eugene Carroll. Have you been listening? And I'm not going to play the sound bites that have been played ad nauseum all week, but you probably heard them. And if you've taken the time to hear this broad who sued Donald Trump because of a rape in a dressing room that you know never happened, you know that never happened, and this suit, this $83 million was a defamation suit because he said hurtful things about her.
It's an unbelievable amount of money.
It is. Well, it's unbelievable that an E. Jean Carroll can be given any respect whatsoever. The sound bites, if you've heard any of these, you know that this broad is a lying nutbag.
What attorney would
She's
take-
a nutbag.
What attorney would take this on?
Well, somebody did, obviously.
Who would take this
Wait.
on?
Are we talking about? And okay, get ready. We do have attorneys who listen and watch Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio on YouTube, on Rumble, and on X. So, and you know the old adage, well, yeah, you throw us attorneys under the bus until you need us, and that's true. Attorneys have come in beautifully throughout my life,
Yeah.
where I couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah,
but
and who's gonna
but when my brother Mart asks, is
Who
there
would take this on? Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I thought about that after I said it.
it's an ambulance chase, and you know, yeah, I mean,
who's going to turn down a third of $83
well,
million?
but it's not only that. It is a chance for the spotlight because you're suing Donald Trump. But this E. Jean Carroll, what a scumbag. You know, and she's doing the rounds on all the TV shows and all the broads on there. Oh, yeah, boy, isn't that great? Yeah, we'll get to Babs. Barbara Streisand just thinks it's
Back at it,
awesome.
huh? Back at it.
She thinks it's so awesome. You did what no one else could do. Yeah, you won in court with absolutely no evidence whatsoever. And this is all about a rape that never took place. And P.S., this is not, you do understand that I'm not dismissing rapes in any way, shape, or form. If it is the real thing, son of a bitch.
The guy should be hung.
The guy, you bet your ass, should be tortured first and then thrown in jail and then tortured once a week. Yes. Yes, committing that sort of an act is terrible. Did Donald Trump do it? Does Donald Trump need to do such a thing? Women are throwing themselves off the top of a building onto his face, for God's sakes. Are you kidding me? And this was years ago.
It hurt.
But this statute of limitations thing, when they changed all that, what a crock of crap that is, man. There is no evidence. You can't point to anything. There is obviously no DNA. And this law was only changed over the last few years. This statute of limitations. There was a statute of limitations there for a reason.
Yeah.
Because of evidentiary reasons. There are reasons for this.
But now you can dredge things up from freaking 100 years ago.
How long ago did this allegedly happen?
This was, what, 20, 30 years ago?
I look at her, and I don't see...
Have you seen her on some of these TV shows?
Oh, yeah, it's horrible. And I look at her, and I think, 20 years ago, I don't even think she was
hot
enough,
then. Yeah.
hot enough for anybody to...
Well, Dave, that's kind of beside the point.
Well, yeah, but as Trump said, she's not my type. And
I don't know who type she is.
And he's a big loudmouth, but he does tell it like it is.
He kind of does. Well, not kind of, he does.
If this chick were hot, has anyone seen pictures of her from 20 years ago? Because I'd be interested.
Mark?
I guess I'm not that interested, but
you can't check it out, or
I don't know, man. It just blows my mind that our court system, along with everything else, and we can blame it on many things, but the woke,
right?
But it's those constituents of those woke people, such as who is that chick? Oh God, I may have to play that again. Look under dumb South Carolina, DUMB, and I think it'll come up.
I know how to spell dumb.
But such as, and where was I going on this?
I don't know.
Recent polls have shown a fifth of Americans can't locate the U.S. on a world map.
This is my favorite.
Why do you think this is?
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere such as, and
right.
I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. Or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries, so we will be able to build up our future.
Thank you very much.
I believe that some...
Sheepishly, thank you very much. God bless her.
And over here. And so...
And by the way, it seems like a nice enough gal, and, she was all a little bit distraught over this.
Now, this could be what it is. I'm kind of changing the subject, but you're talking about judges and courts and attorneys.
No, you're not changing the subject.
Okay, so,
we are down a crap hole, and it's because of the folks running the such as United States of such as America, and they don't care about the freedoms given us so many years ago. And believe me, we who tend to be leaning toward the right politically, we're not the fascists.
Well, what just came down yesterday? Dave.
Oh,
Dave told me about it.
Yeah,
California is the only state in the union that had background checks to buy ammo for your weapons.
Which is ridiculous.
Your firearms.
They took it away. As of yesterday, it's no more.
It's broke the Constitution. It's against the Constitution. It's no more.
Yeah.
It went into effect. The judge, now the prosecutor's saying, or whatever, he's saying, no, we're going to reopen this.
Well, of course they are. Of course they are. And P.S., as far as this E. Jean Carroll, she ain't getting the $83 million. She ain't. Trust me on this.
I would hope not.
There will be no $83 million shopping spree. Yeah. Count on that. A lot to get to here on Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio.
Like the legend of the Phoenix, all ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning. Love. We've blessing has no ribbon. Your gift keeps on giving. What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to...
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Outlaw Radio. The staccato hoofbeats of a golden palomino, carrying a man who fights wherever justice needs a champion.
Magic Matt Allen.
And you think I make this crap up. So at break, the minute we go to break, Billy Dilly, our HR man, walks on in.
Right to the chair that I said he could.
Right over the chair. And I'm thinking, oh, no. My worst nightmares are all coming true, all cumulative, condensed into one friggin' show. And so Mark said, no, don't step there. And then it keeps coming. So he did walk through the double western swinging doors where I stand here.
Yeah.
In this 1876 Virginia City, Nevada style bar in Southern California. The formerly great town of L.A., the formerly great state of California, until those miscreant a-hole lefties got their hands on it, and it's a juggernaut of ugliness. But he handed me this cup. It's one of these solo cups. I think it's an offshoot, Brad. Probably a cheaper.
Yeah, it's not a real solo. It's a fake.
I used to use those damn things.
It's a replica.
In high school at kegger parties.
Yeah, I got to tell you, these counterfeit solo cups, they work pretty well.
They work good.
That's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty good.
They hold liquid and everything.
Yeah.
And so Ralph, who is driving with our buddy George Papadopoulos today, he said. Well, Billy said, no, you got to give this to Matt. So I'm assuming this is some incredible bourbon product. However, because he has great taste in bourbon. However, to drink it out of a solo-esque, duplicate solo cup.
Not even a real solo.
Not even a real solo cup.
And is it neat?
Well, of course it's neat.
No,
Oh, you're talking about the cup, or?
The cup is not neat.
No, I think the cup's sort of neat.
I know, Dave. That was kind of rude.
Okay, here we go.
What show is it, Dave?
Oh, jeez, it's just I try to be magnanimous. All right, I'm going to take a little sip of this, and this is not guess your whiskey time, right? But I'll take a sip.
I think you went in the house and opened up your bottle.
Oh, boy.
Right when he's trying to swallow.
Oh, boy, that's heavy duty. That's got a lot of body. Oh, boy, that's a goodie.
Girl I was with last week, she had a lot of body, and
Whoa. Yeah, that needs, in fact, I do have some water here, so that needs just a little dram of, to open it up. A little water.
If you need that, then it's strong.
Oh, this is probably, he's probably trying to get me drunk before George Papadopoulos enters this 1876 Virginia City, Nevada style bar, and I don't know why he'd be doing that.
He's trying to make you mispronounce his name.
Maybe that's it. Well, that's not a difficult feat for me.
I know.
Okay, I'll try it with a little spring branch water in there, as we do in Kentucky. As Barry Goodall from Goodall's Country Kitchen would say,
Newville.
That's the way we do it.
Love that, man.
Oh, yeah, open it up.
By the way, man, we got to get a shirt. I think get a shirt for him, an Outlaw Radio shirt.
I think this is about 150 proof, but good stuff. What a sick effing, but the real word, a-hole, but the real word, Joe Biden trashes Donald Trump behind closed doors. Finally, we have a respectable White House. Isn't that what of course, our president said before he was elected? Finally, we're going to put some humanity back into the White House. But here's this old son of a bitch and losing son of a... Did I mention son of a...
Yeah.
trashing Donald Trump because, of course, he takes the high road, always takes the high road. President Joe Biden gained a reputation during his first 3 years in the White House, remember, for reportedly using curse words when speaking about former President Donald Trump. Although Biden vowed to restore decency to the White House, well, the old bastard failed to make good on his promise, according to Politico's Jonathan Lemire, Lauren Egan, Maya Ward, and Ben Johansson, who acknowledged Biden's habit of cursing his political opponents. The president has described Trump to longtime friends and close aides as a sick F who delights in others' misfortunes. According to 3 people who have heard the president use the profane description, according to one of the people who's spoken with the president, Biden recently said of Trump, what and then the real word effing, and then the real word a-hole the guy is.
Yeah. He's our president, right?
Yeah, his disgust toward Trump has never been a secret, but this has grown in recent months, has it not?
Yeah.
Because, of course, Trump has tightened his grip on the GOP nomination. I would say more than tighten it. What is Nikki Haley doing?
Man.
I know what she's doing. She's the Democrats' best friend.
Yes,
that's what's going on.
That's what's happening.
I can't wait to talk to George Papadopoulos about old Nixter. I mean, he's probably met her. He worked for Donald Trump. I mean, this man worked. This man was an advisor to Donald Trump and did jail time, did some big house time. I guess 12 days, as I understand it, but then he's probably still under house arrest, which is why he's here. One of the only places they will allow him to spend time.
He's got an ankle bracelet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mahar says Biden can fix border now. He already has the existing laws. Real Times host Bill Mahar stated the President Joe Biden is pretending that he needs a new law to fix the border and the president can fix this. Well, he's been pretending that for quite some time,
He's had it the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, he already has the existing laws. Yeah. Mahar began by saying, Republicans act like they want to solve this, but the Democrats called their bluff. That's not true. That is not true.
It's the opposite.
It is absolutely the opposite. We know why these a-holes want these illegals here, because it builds their voting base.
I've got a theory why.
That's all it is.
I've got a theory why him and Kamala, an idiot, stay away from the borders.
Yeah.
Because if they witness people coming in, then they are in danger of losing their jobs because they witnessed something illegal in America that is happening.
Okay, I don't know
in front of their eyes.
I don't know what. That's my brother Mart. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Mahar began by saying Republicans act like they want to solve this, but the Democrats called their bluff. There's a bill right now. I think that was. I think I threw up in my mouth.
Well, it was a B flat.
Just a little bit. Yeah, I was thinking about Kamala Harris, and I threw up in my mouth.
It's funny you mentioned Mahar because I watched this week's episode.
Yeah.
And his board was what's his name, the governor of New Hampshire.
Right.
And they went on and on about Nikki Haley, and it was blood curdling.
I don't know what Dave's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about either.
Right. Well, you didn't see it. I mean, it was just.
I'm not even certain what I'm talking about here at this point. Senator,
we're having a good time, folks.
Some pretty conservative senators saying this is as good a deal as you're going to get. They don't want it because they don't want this issue to be solved because they need it as an issue. Well, here's the thing. It should be an issue until the election, even if we do minor repairs on the border. But the problem is that the folks who vote have minuscule memories. So if this is completely fixed, will they understand that it's the Democrats who all along were totally against sealing up the border? And so, yes, it is an issue. And it is the biggest issue, which is why this old piece of crap is finally coming to the table because he wants to win in the worst way, even though it ain't gonna be him. And now they're talking about Mrs. Obama, sticking her in there. So I say it's even. And by the way, please say that's not going to happen.
Oh, boy, man.
Because I think that's a tough putt for the right people to win for the good of America. And that's another thing. I'm going to talk to George Papadopoulos about today on the show. New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, stated Joe Biden has a lot of power to change a lot of policy and affect the immigration issue. Mahar responded, that's true. That's my I was going to say part 2 of the acting is Joe Biden saying, you know what? If you just give me a new law, why doesn't the president, he can fix it already? He doesn't need a new law. It's silly. This is all silly. President Obama was able to deport people under the current immigration law. This is such silliness. But the problem is, they treat the voters like nincompoops. And, well, I'll speak for the state in which we emanate, California. The vast majority are nincompoops here. I mean, they truly are. I mean, take a look at the once great city of San Francisco, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
They could easily fix this by bringing in a couple conservatives, just a couple Republicans to clean things up. But no. They'd rather walk through poo-poo on the sidewalk.
That was a beautiful city.
By the way, one of my favorite songs from the 60s, and I think it was Frank Sinatra, and I don't know if he originated that,
right, or titled it.
But he did the greatest cover of "Poo Poo on the Sidewalk."
Yeah.
I'm
thinking about remaking it.
It was melodic. It was so gorgeous. One of the great love songs in the history of songs. Yeah. Some things you just do for yourself.
Dave, you want to do backup vocals on that with me?
Yeah,
sure. Play some drums.
I'll play the drums.
Okay.
And man, we lost a good one.
Oh,
and yeah, I could have thrown in and I thought, everybody's going to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do it. Okay, the truth is I was too lazy to record it. But the bottom line is it still would have been, the old hat, and anytime I hear that song, it makes me weep a little bit because I think about my buddy Burt Randolph Sugar, the boxing guru, who I loved dearly. And there wasn't a time when I would visit New York City when he and I wouldn't get together and go drinking at some dive bars and some great restaurants.
He was at our show several times.
Oh, he was the best.
Great.
He was the best. Oh. And the last time I called him, I said, I want you to be on the show tomorrow. Let's do a phoner. He said, I'm not feeling that well. When I feel better, bada bing, bada 2 weeks later.
Bada dead.
Yeah, bada dead. But we're speaking of Carl Weathers.
Oh, boy.
The man immortalized the role of Apollo Creed. I mean, without that Apollo Creed character, you have no nemesis. And then he turns, and that Sly Stallone, he's a pretty smart guy. He really is a smart guy.
Yeah.
A guy
There's a reason why he's where he's at.
A guy that shopped around Rocky to all of the huge media outlets, all the giant movie studios, and they all said, we like the screenplay, but we don't want you to star. Right. And he kept going. He said, well, then it's not me. You don't get it. And he kept going until, boom, he had a taker, and the rest is, well, as you know. Wow. But Carl Weathers, dead at 76, and they haven't let the cat out of the bag. What the hell happened?
Yeah.
I think it's too young for that dude, man.
Yeah, absolutely. He died in his sleep.
Dave and I were talking in the green room before the show today, and he has been in so many movies and so much. And one of the things I just got to say is, in Happy Gilmore, when he's teaching Adam Sandler how to golf at the range, and he's grabbing his hips, he's going, Happy. Now remember, it's all in the hips. It's all in the hips. And Adam turns around and goes, get off me, man. What the hell?
Yeah. I like that Adam Sandler, too. Yeah.
I like you too, man. It's always a pleasure doing the show. Oh yeah, I like Magic Man. Oh, yeah. I do.
And then last week, of course, the impending doom throughout Southern California and all the weather forecasts, massive rain coming. And my poker playing buddy Roman and I got a big kick out of it. Even Tattoo Dave and one of my other poker playing buddies, Rick, they were talking about the weather for like several minutes and so Roman and I just looked at each other. We knew what we were both thinking. It's like, shut up about the weather. Southern California, the only place where a little rain people freak out. The sky is falling because we're going to have a little precip.
Well, Matt, Thursday we got hit with the first storm, and I was at work. And I sunk up to my kneecap and was sinking in like quicksand because California's not meant.
Do you know why?
It's not meant for rain.
Because you deserve it, and God hates you.
There it is.
Yes. Yes.
It's finally out in the open.
Well, it is harsh, Mark, but man, the truth sometimes is painful.
Matt, when you're talking about, though, 5 to 6 to 7 inches, that in Southern California is not made for the rain. I used to do construction up in the Northwest. That's made for the rain.
Yeah.
Southern California is not made for rain, so everything turns to crap. The drainage systems don't work. People don't know how to drive.
But
so it does turn into chaos.
So it's not the end of the world. Here, I have a little tip for you. Stay home.
Well, yeah.
Stay home. Simply stay home.
Can't always do that.
It's the end of the world, man. It's we're going to have some rain. They're laughing at us in Wisconsin. Even New York, it's like, oh, rain. Oh, man. Joe Biden's lowest January approval rating in election year history of all modern presidents. And massive clown heads in downtown Boston freak out tourists.
Oh, no.
This and George Papadopoulos in mere minutes on the big growly dog of broad chasing, meant to say casting. Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, and the finest radio stations in all the land. Thank you for being there.
Stars, would-be stars, wannabes, and people who just want to hear themselves talk. The demons of decadence, smoking, drinking, and interrupting. Live from an 1876 Virginia City, Nevada-style bar, this is Magic Matt Allen Outlaw Radio.
Well, for those of you watching us on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, certainly not the terrestrial, great terrestrial radio stations, you wouldn't see the face of Jorge. He's in the lounge, but he's not officially on for a couple minutes. What if he drinks bourbon, or if he drinks bourbon? Is he okay?
He's giving
good.
a thumbs up on that.
I want a drunk George Papadopoulos on the show today, man.
And give a thumbs up on that. I'm liking it already.
And by the way, one of my myriad publicists, but one of my faves, Ed Losey, sends his best to that man. And Ed and I have known each other for a gazillion years, and he's a big fan. You know, no one reached out and said, "Oh, this George, we can't stand this guy." They all like this guy. So this could be a really boring couple hours,
it could
right?
be.
Yeah.
Because we want somebody we hate.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And to give you an idea of where my daughter sits comedically, she knows just the articles to send me. Massive clown heads in downtown Boston freak out tourists. Very creepy.
Oh, no, man.
Oh, yeah. No clowning around here. This is some creepy art, a public art. And by the way, anything that happens in Boston, I believe it. And what have I said about Boston?
Well, you said the same thing about San Diego.
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty clear. Boston and San Diego, I just see no reason for those cities.
Probably not.
Nah, just no reason.
Yeah, wipe them out first.
Yeah. Philadelphia is iffy. You know, that's sort of iffy. You know, that whole begrudging New York for being New York and being the big dogs. They've always had a chip on their shoulder because of New York. I know because I did a morning radio show in Philly, and let me tell you one thing. You're either from Philly or you're not.
Didn't you want to get the hell out of there? Yeah.
Oh, I did on the weekends, on Friday. I'd fly back here, stay at my house for 2 days, fly on back. That's how much but the weekends that I would spend there, I did spend with a good buddy of mine at Chris's Cafe on Sansom Street in Center City. See, there is no downtown in Philly. That's the other odd thing about Philly. Downtown doesn't exist. It's Center City. If you call it downtown, yeah, boy, you were obviously a tourist, you son of a bitch, with our narrow streets. But I do like some of the people there, and we used to sit there at Chris's Cafe on Sansom, that giant picturesque window, the dead of winter, way too friggin' cold, but sipping a perfectly made gin martini and or some bourbon, smoking a cigar with all the judges in town. And by the way, if you don't think politics is corrupt and the bench and these...
Well, judges have to drink.
Oh, these friggin' robe wearers, man, with these God complexes. I've just... You know, I always wanted to believe in our system. Yeah. And I got to tell you, since what came down with this fake rape BS from this piece of crap lying nutbag, I have a tough time even believing in the system anymore. And I have nowhere to go. I have nowhere to run. Where the hell am I traveling to?
Does, man. Yeah.
Public art installation of 2 massive clown heads in downtown Boston has gotten tourists from Bostonia. So, okay, it was part of the downtown Boston Business Improvement District's Winteractive Walkable Art Experience. The clowns are one of 16 exhibits, but they put them in like alleyways and so on, poking out and looking at you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's titled Endgame. And so artist Max Streicher told Axios he was trying to make the inflatable clowns look sort of alarmed and just stunned and shocked by the condition they're in. Well, doesn't every clown have that sort of facial appearance? Isn't that what the way they look?
Are you going to scare little kids and stuff doing that?
That's why they do it. Yes.
That's
welcome,
not very nice.
Welcome to Boston. One great thing, 2 great things about Boston: clam chowder and their friggin' lobster rolls.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the beginning and the end. I've spent some time. Oh, and the world's tiniest dive bar. I've been there as well. Sitting there with the co-pilot and the pilot of the plane that we're going to take at 6:30 the next morning.
They're getting drunk.
And it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and they were drunk as hell, and that is a true story. All right, lot to get to. George Papadopoulos next on Outlaw Radio.
Out on the street, I was talking to a man. He said there's so much, but there's nothing, man, that I don't this is Meatloaf. Okay, kids, you know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's Outlaw Radio time! Our main event! Outlaw Radio.
Hi, this is Sean Young on Outlaw Radio.
Hey, this is Shelley Berman on Outlaw Radio. Listen, come on, listen to me or listen to Matt. If you like being bored, it's great for you.
It's Robert Hayes. I'm here on Outlaw Radio with Magic Matt, a.k.a. The Weasel. We are here to drink. We're here to smoke. We're here to interrupt. You may drink. You may smoke. You may interrupt, but I'm here to...
Live from the Lighten Up Lounge, this is Tom DeLuise saying, this is Outlaw Radio.
Hi, this is Chuck Woolery at Lighten Up Lounge on Outlaw Radio. It was lots of fun, guys. Be back 2 and 2.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and you're listening to Outlaw Radio, where we smoke, we drink, and occasionally we bother people who look old and weak.
Hi, this is Rick Dees with Magic Matt, a.k.a. Mr. Cigar, in the Lighten Up Lounge. We drink, we smoke, we interrupt.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we've discovered what sort of bourbon was gifted little old Magic Matt on Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio on YouTube, on Rumble, on X. By the way, it's been a while since I mentioned this. You know, YouTube hates us.
Yeah.
They hate us. They screw with our analytics every chance they get, man.
It's funny how all of a sudden we have this many views, and then all of a sudden
No.
later,
They take away views. Oh, yeah.
But we don't care because we're a radio station first.
Boy, that song sounds loud, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Man.
If it's too loud.
You know, if we had a producer such as a Tattoo Dave lookalike that could hear, wouldn't that be awesome? By the way, I just turned into Rick Dees for a second. If we could just hear, God bless you. Here's Disco Duck. Welcome back, my friends and my friendlies. So this ginormous bourbon is, what is that bottle right there?
Coppercraft.
So Coppercraft is, what is the proof?
97.
Yeah, and you give this to me neat with not even a splash of water, trying to get me all drunky drunk with when I have an esteemed George Papadopoulos on the show. I think that was on purpose, man.
May have been.
Ralphie hasn't changed.
No, what do you expect?
No.
That's Ralph, man. He's in showbiz and real estate. He does it all. He was smart enough to simply not stick with showbiz, but have some.
Well, he knew he had to make money.
What? Yeah. It's just
that was it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that was my problem. Yeah, should have finished that college. Oh, boy. I'd be a great attorney. I've always known that about myself.
Yes, you would.
George Papadopoulos, now you don't have credentials as an attorney, right?
I'm not an attorney, but I'm happy to be out here with the Outlaws. That's all I know.
Good answer, George.
All right. Does he have a little bourbon in that glass? I love that.
I have a lot of bourbon in this glass.
I love that. You know, the mayor of New York City and my own self shared some single malt scotch one day. The reason I bring that up is because I wasn't certain that a George Demetrios Papadopoulos would be imbibing today because of his, reputation, and he's just sort of above board. But he is he's in politics and a politician. So what do they do but drink and smoke, for God's sakes? Am I right?
That's all we have to do. The rest is TV business.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'd also make a great politician. I guess I am, sort of. Hey, here's a man that is not a politician. He's there, right? I'm assuming.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, I love this guy, man.
Nothing about this. You need to pay attention. Sit back and relax. It's time for Goodall's Country Kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Goodall's Country Kitchen. Barry Goodall from good old Kentucky. We wanted to squeeze him in here. This is George Papadopoulos' time. However, this is very important. How are you, Bear?
Great. How y'all doing?
All right. I love this guy.
I love him too, man.
He has a YouTube channel called Goodall's Country Kitchen. I got it right this time. And I love the way he eats. He eats like a... Would you mind... You're not offended if I say you eat like a pig, right?
Oh, that's fine. It's just it runs in the family.
Well, Matt, I've got to tell you, I've adopted Barry's snapping turtle eating.
Yeah, he has
style.
a snapping turtle technique where it's what sometimes it's a double snapping turtle where it's a double bite, and then he'll do the triple.
Well, if he goes to a triple, he's serious.
Yeah, it means
stay out of his way.
He is hungry as hell.
Been known to go into the quadruple.
Oh yeah, that happens as well. But this guy has turned me on to some of the greatest places in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah. And so I promise you, I'm going to make that trip this year. Have you been to Louisville, Ralph? You've been around.
I have not been to Louisville.
Okay, are we going this year?
I say we're there.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, and
we could do the Bourbon Trail.
And by the way, George Papadopoulos, yes, speaking of bourbon minding my own business, this man was on the show a couple weeks ago. Why? Am I looking for something from him? Yes. No. I'll tell you, I'm looking, yes, I'm looking for his love and adoration, but I'm not looking for anything.
No swag?
Not really, even though, a T-shirt would be nice. But and they have their own line of T-shirts, the Goodalls Country Kitchen T-shirt on YouTube. And by the way, I recommend you watch this guy.
Oh,
if you
great,
like food, you're going to dig this guy. And last time on the show, I said, so you don't drink because you never drink on your shows?
Hell yeah,
I
man,
said,
I drink.
I said, so would it be okay if when I visit you, if we had some bourbon there in bourbon country? And he said, hell yeah, well, certainly have some bourbon. So minding my own business, he sends me a note saying, what is your address? What I'm thinking is he's going to send me, Ralph, he's going to send me swag. Right?
I would think that.
It's this little box that took me about 10 minutes to rifle through all of the packing and then I'm thinking, what is this, a joke? Is this a box simply filled with popcorn?
Is it a bomb?
And yeah, what the hell is this?
That's what I thought he was going
And
to say.
finally, I see the top. And by the way, you can you can see this on YouTube, on Rumble, on
Liquid gold.
X. It is. He sent me a little. You're right, George Papadopoulos. A little liquid gold. And it is some gorgeous Kentucky whiskey, the finest bourbon, single barrel. Is Blanton's your favorite?
No, actually, my brother-in-law, James Kinney, is a bourbon collector, and I was asking his opinion on what kind I should get, because I was just going to get Woodford Reserve, which is a well-known bourbon around.
Of course.
But he said, oh, you can do better than that. And he actually sold me at his cost that Blanton there.
See,
it's a collector edition.
I got to tell you something. I love honesty. And living here in L.A., you don't get a lot of it from folks.
Yeah.
And his honesty is so immersed in sincerity.
Beautiful.
He's saying that he didn't pay the full bore. He gifted me this gorgeous bottle of Blanton's. And by the way, I have a bottle of, it's empty now, though, of Woodford Reserve right behind me on the back bar in this 1876 Virginia City, Nevada style bar, signed by Lincoln Henderson, the master distiller. And if you had sent me that, I would have said, oh, yeah, that's nice. But I'll tell you what,
I'm guessing we're not going to open that.
No.
It's going to be gone.
You're guessing wrong, my friend.
By the way, the top of that bottle is a collector's item. Those horses there.
It's the Kentucky Derby.
That's correct.
Yeah. I mean, this guy.
Well, Barry just said it's a collectible.
And this is the last thing, I promise you, the last thing I expected from Barry Goodall of Goodall's Country Kitchen was a bottle of bourbon, because I don't even think it's legal to send it the way he said it. But Kentucky, everything's legal, right, Bear?
Well, I plead the fifth.
I simply want to tell you that from the bottom of my bottom and the bottom of my heart, how much this means to me. You didn't have to do it. I didn't ask for it, and I promise you, my friend, I wasn't. You don't know nothing about expecting a gift. I did not expect this gift, and the biggest smile. If someone could have taken a picture of that smile and sent it to my ex-wife, she'd want to marry me again.
Oh, no.
I
doubt it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I don't think you want that.
Yeah, but
Matt, can we talk about just quickly about
make it quick.
episode we watched last night?
Oh, it was a good one.
Yeah, because Matt and I did watch an episode of his show on YouTube, and it was fantastic. And he had some old timer with him, and he's a curmudgeon old guy.
Oh yeah, who is that old bastard? That old curmudgeon-y guy that is you love him dearly. You've known him for many, many years.
He's a great friend. His name's Sam Stallings, and he's well known around the gambling circuits of Louisville, Kentucky.
Our kind of guy.
Now, when you say gambling, what sort of gambling? Is it cards?
Sports. Horses.
Right.
Craps, blackjack.
So
you name it.
Everything. So, of course, horses. A little equine betting because you're there in Kentucky, for God's sakes, home of the Kentucky Derby. Well, this guy last night, we were watching you eating fried chicken, and I have two questions before I have to let you go, Barry Goodall, because we got George Demetrios Papadopoulosl here on the show. But I was going to say we have a bigger name on the phone. Kajagugu is calling in.
There's no bigger name than Barry.
Yeah. So just hang in there. But I will tell you that where was I going? Oh, that you're eating the fried chicken. You really didn't mention how good you thought it was, even though the curmudgeon said it's the best. This is the best in Kentucky, but you sort of stayed away from saying it was the best.
You went with the gizzards.
Yeah, but you love the gizzards, but the fried chicken. How good was that chicken?
It was as good as any you're going to find around that region.
All right.
I purposely don't say one thing is better than somebody else's because I would hate to offend somebody that thinks they have the best fried chicken around.
Okay,
he's very, very polite.
That could start World War III in Kentucky.
Speaking,
and they all have guns.
Oh yeah. Speaking of World War III, I thought at one point with that old dude, it seems like he was a little miffed at you, and you were shocked by what the hell did he say, Mark? He said something, and Barry Goodall was so shocked by whatever that statement was, and I could see it in his face that I thought he was afraid that this old man was going to drop kick him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about when he tried to stick his finger in my blue cheese?
Yes, yes, that was the part.
Yeah. Chicken gizzard and dip it. He almost lost a finger.
You
almost had to pull a double snapping turtle on his end.
Damn it! You don't. What have I said since I was a kid? And I learned this from my father. You don't stick your finger in another man's blue cheese.
Oh boy!
Right?
Yep.
Right? Huh?
Matt, we got to send Barry a T-shirt, an Outlaw Radio T-shirt, man.
Okay, well, why don't you do that, Mark?
All right, I will.
Okay, I will. All right. Hey, Barry Goodall of Goodall's Country Kitchen. I think you know how much we adore you. We love you dearly. We love that you're there in a sane state.
Yes.
We love that you're there in a sane state. Although I did see some snow on the ground in some of your videos. I'm not a huge fan of snow, but I got to tell you, things have gotten so bad in California that I can put up with a little precip and a little snow. And God bless you and your beautiful wife. Oh, I know what I want to ask you before I let you go. Has she had enough of this YouTube stuff, you going from restaurant to restaurant? Because I noticed she's not manning the camera anymore.
Right. I burned her out.
I thought
so. Midway through. And so to continue on at the pace that I wanted to keep going, I had to adjust and bring in outside help. That's why you see a lot of guest reviewers now.
Yeah. So you fired
me and her and the kids.
He fired his wife.
Oh yeah, I had to let her go.
But his daughters, his daughters are great too.
Oh no! And then you showed a little.
They'll enjoy the residuals though when we're on vacation.
Yeah.
I love that. So God bless you. God love you. You are one of the good ones. Thank you so much. And I hope you can smell my sincerity. This Blanton's is a beautiful gift, and it is unneeded, but God bless you, the great and ubiquitous these days. I must tell you, Barry Goodall of Goodall's Country Kitchen. Yeah, Bear?
Well, I'm glad I could give you a taste of Kentucky, and make sure you let me know when y'all come into Louisville.
Please, you're the first guy. Where do you think we're staying, Barry? Where in the hell do you...
You better kick your daughters out of their room.
Yeah,
bro,
it's about to... Aren't they...
Well, I do have extra rooms here. You're more than welcome to stay with us. But I'm sure y'all would rather have fun, so I would recommend the golf house.
All right, there he is, man. Barry Goodall.
Love you.
Is that a good man? Is that a damn good man?
Love it.
Oh, yeah. God.
That's salt of the earth right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I got a feeling George Demetrios Papadopoulosl,
It took me till I was about 10 years old to learn how to even pronounce that freaking name.
I'm certain. I'm certain. But I have a feeling that you appreciate a person like the person we just talked to as much as I do.
You know what? That's a real American patriot. That's a real salt of the earth American, and that's actually the backbone of what made this country great. So absolutely. And not only that, first and foremost, I got to tell you, you got the best setup I've ever seen in my life for radio.
Oh, is that right? So you did, George. You're digging this 1876 Virginia City, Nevada style bar?
Hey, I like it. I must be an old soul myself, because this is my. I feel right at home right here.
God bless you, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah, this guy's a youngin'. Are you 36? Are you even 36?
36.
Yeah, 36 years old, and but you are an old soul.
I am. I feel like.
And you're a lover of America.
Absolutely.
And you're a man who was, boy, that election, you did throw your hand in the ring and you just got trounced. What the hell happened there?
Oh, my God. What a story that was.
Yeah,
right?
tell me.
Let's go back to 2015, the summer of 2015.
Right.
I had a cushy job in Washington, D.C. I was one of these up-and-comers in Washington, like a lot of others, except what did I want to do? I wanted to take a chance. And what I want to take a chance on? I wanted to take a chance on somebody who's going to make America great. I had an opportunity to work for basically any campaign I wanted in 2016. Colleagues were telling me, go work with Jeb Bush. Marco Rubio, good friend. Get your feet wet. They're probably going to lose.
And by the way, I like Marco Rubio a lot. Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. He was actually probably my third choice, but I'll get to that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around. I see Trump come down those escalators. What's he talking about? He's talking about issues that are affecting America.
Mm-hmm.
He's not talking about pie-in-the-sky garbage. He's not talking about America and the shining city on a hill, which is all great and dandy when ISIS isn't cutting people's heads off.
He doesn't sound like a politician.
No, he doesn't. And maybe deep down, I'm not a politician either. That's why it really resonated. And I just wanted to rip off that suit and tie in my little cushy office, and I wanted to join one of these renegade campaigns.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I reached out to the campaign at a time when the campaign was 3 people. They're not hiring at the moment, so who do I join? Another renegade, Dr. Ben Carson.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Love the doc.
Yes.
By the way, is there any shot at him being the VP? Because I would love that.
So one thing that I hold dear to me in my heart, and I know Trump does certainly, and I know millions of Americans do, and that's about loyalty, and that's about service to America. And what does Dr. Carson do? He loves America. He represents the American dream, probably more than any candidate, maybe more than any American. Really.
You bet.
I mean, this is a guy who statistically had 0.1% chance of succeeding. Inner city Detroit, single mother, father abandoned him, African American. At a time when, there was issues
we don't
in
really say African American on this show. I am so tired of that. He's a black dude. He's a good black dude.
Good black dude.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How about just good dude?
Good dude.
No. How about good black dude?
Okay.
Yeah. Because I do see color, but I don't see it as a reason to dislike anyone.
It's not a determinative.
Of course not. But we see color. Of course we do. Well, that's a black person. That would be an Asian person. That would be a Greek guy.
Right. Jew.
That Jew over there, Mark C.T. Boyer. Well, okay. You can't really tell he's well, hold on. Okay. George, yes.
But here's what I was saying. The Democrats have used identity politics to destroy America. That's what I'm talking about.
Without identity politics, they don't exist.
That's my point. So it's not about me seeing it, or I completely agree with what you're saying. How the Democrats ran America, if people like him would have had their life under the government dole or seen as like some sort of just check to vote. And that's what the Democrats view minorities, let's call people who are minorities in this country as.
Right.
Nothing more. He succeeded. His mom believed in him. He believed in God, his country, and his family. He rose up. He became a neurosurgeon, world-renowned.
Having nothing to do with the color of his skin.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing to do with it. And he's the first to say that. And that's why he has such a powerful message, because he's all about unity. I joined his campaign.
Don't you mean unity? do we all know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Oh, okay. Unity. Yes.
That's a Joe Biden lingo right there.
Right.
That's Bidenese. Yes.
I'm not slurring my words just yet to be Biden level, but
you'll get there, George.
I'm going to get there after a couple more.
The next hour, yes. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So he gets in there. What does he have? He has 10 to 12% of the national electorate. I knew that once he dropped out and endorsed Trump, it was game over, and that's exactly what happened. He drops out. He says, listen, I'm about to drop out. Do you see any other candidates you want to work? I said, I want Trump. I always wanted Trump. You're going to endorse him. I know he's going to win, and that's what happened.
God bless him.
You said that. You said, I know he's going to win.
I know he's going to win. I knew from day one, since day one.
Oh, you know what? That's awesome, man. I mean, it truly is.
No BS.
Yeah.
I have messages that back it up. I wrote it in my book. Since day one, when he went down those escalators, I said, this guy is going to be the next president of the United States of America.
And I got a feeling, and if I say something, and I think, George, I'm giving you 100% permission, not that you need it, but if I say something you don't agree with, please speak out. I bet you agree that Donald Trump is one of the biggest loudmouth, sarcastic bastards on the planet. Yes or no?
He definitely has confidence. I'll say that.
Okay.
Good answer.
Okay. Hold on. Donald J. Trump, who I had the pleasure of meeting a couple times in New York, years ago, but always a bit arrogant, but affable. Always liked him. I've been accused of similar sort of characteristics, so I can identify with the dude. He is a loudmouth. He tweets a lot of, really nasty stuff. Really, oh my God, he's hurting feelings. But who the F cares except stupid a-holes who hate America? And for the other side to call this man Hitler and a fascist and... if they're calling it out, they know that's who they are.
Yes.
And they're proving that, are they not, George?
The Democrats are the masters of projection.
Big time.
They were the ones colluding with the Russians and the Ukrainians.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's what's this entire scandal about with Hunter, with Joe, with Ukraine, and Hillary getting paid $500,000 from a Russian bank, and Bill and the Hillary Clinton Foundation, and all that pay-for-play scheme. That's just one major example of them projecting what they were doing.
Yep.
But what did they do? In order to cover up their gross misdeeds, they said, oh, no. Trump is doing that, so we're going to set up all of his guys. We're going to throw America into turmoil just to cover our back ends. And that's just one example.
And you, George Papadopoulos, you got caught up in that so deeply that, and I'm not going to talk about this until the next segment, but you were so immersed in this ugliness, you had to spend, first of all, 12 days in the big house. And then what a year or so house arrest, or what the hell was it? Do you have leg chains on? Because if you do, I want to see your
an
legs.
ankle bracelet right now.
Listen, I'm no gay.
Shiny.
I'm no gay guy or nothing, but I can appreciate a man's physique. If you got nice legs, let me see them leg chains. But
he's getting there.
But what was the 12? Yeah, little
drunk.
Little 120 proof bourbon supplied by Ralph Odierna. It's always a bad
Matt,
idea.
can I say something? The two worst days in a human being's life is, one, when a federal prosecutor knocks on your door and says, you are a suspect.
Oh, yeah.
The second is when Burl Baird knocks on your door.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, that would be an Edgar Award-winning, what did he do? Oh, he's an author. Oh, okay. But he's also a Marxist. Let's not forget that. I thought the best day was buying a boat, and no. Yes, and the best day of all time is selling the boat,
Yes,
right?
right. That's
Wasn't
correct.
that it? Yeah. Okay, George Papadopoulos has a lot to say, and damn it, you're going to listen because this is an interesting cat, as we say in the music biz. A lot to get to in mere minutes on the big dog of broad chasing, meant to say casting, Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio on YouTube, on Rumble, on X. I don't think that's ever going to sit well. It's always going to be Twitter.
Yep.
You know, I mean, God bless you for trying. And the greatest radio stations in the nation, Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio.
stand for fun. We stand for great cigars. We stand for the perfect martini. And we stand for the American flag. We are Outlaw Radio with Magic Matt Allen.
See that old George Papadopoulos, man, he's on the phone, he's doing the social media stuff because he's still of the age, he's a millennial. He's a child. 36 years old, but
he's younger than my son.
They grew up with that crap,
about
man.
the same age.
But he knows what he's doing. It's like, God, I wish I knew what I was doing, Ralph, when it came to the social media stuff. I really don't. I am such a Luddite.
Our social media when we were growing up was yelling across the schoolyard.
That was it, man.
Yeah.
You and I in Brooklyn.
That's right.
Ringing a bell for dinner time.
That's right.
yeah, but his tweet is going to let his people know that he's here. So,
Over 1 million followers.
yeah, here we go.
Okay, hold on. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let Mart throw himself under the bus because he was looking at me. I know. Say it. Just say it.
Say what?
That I shouldn't have said that.
Oh no, of course. No, man.
the obvious.
I just can't blow it off now.
No. I must tell you, our producer Dave.
Just wrong.
Boy, does he overstate the obvious sometimes. I mean, I understand that. This is
pie on cake.
This is not a put down or throwing George Papadopoulos under the bus in any way. I love him. We need more people to love what we do aside from the great terrestrial radio stations.
But you don't need to bring it up.
Oh no.
The Tattoo Dave Show.
God, what an
Damn right.
What an egomaniac, man. and by the way,
I work with two of them.
I got a little of this bourbon in me, so come on.
No.
Bring it on.
No, I was just going to say that. A lot of bourbon, and we have not even cracked open the beautiful Blantons from Barry Goodall
Hey,
of Goodall's Country
great
Kitchen.
guy, man. That was just awesome.
Okay, Dave, calm down, boy.
Oh God, look at him.
No, I'm just saying. You didn't have to, like you said.
geez.
It was a nice thing to send it.
So let me,
Marty, what is it about that booth?
Bro, I will never go in that booth, man.
You're not allowed in this booth.
Did Lori get a little out of control? Lori Downey Jr.
Maybe once or twice.
A little, yeah. This man was, and I never thought I'd say this, that a man born in 1987 that I would like. I just,
Me either.
But he writes in a former member of the Foreign Policy Advisory Panel, Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. How'd that work out? Oh, that was okay, wasn't it? Yeah. But here's the nastiness, man. He pleaded guilty to a felony charge of making false statements to FBI agents about the timing and the possible significance of the contacts in 2016 relating to the big old bunch of crap U.S.-Russia relations and the Trump presidential campaign. And I read somewhere that Trump called this man a liar. We already know who the liar is. And when I read that, I thought to myself, he sort of has to do that. Am I right, George?
All right. I get asked this question a lot. And
Yeah.
and I've been saying the same answer since day one. And you know what?
I hate to be so rote in
It's-
this.
it's
Make
not-
sure his mic is up just a little bit.
He's just not in it.
No, if I had somebody who was working for me,
Yeah.
and they painted that person the way they initially painted me in the media, the last thing I'd say is I know this person.
You have to disavow. You have to disavow, right?
No, because what they did, I mean, I was sitting on the couch with my then girlfriend, now wife, and I was...
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah. Do you have kids?
No, not yet. We're working on it this year, hopefully, God willing.
Oh, don't tell us you're working on it.
And by the
man.
way, she is hot.
Is she Greek? Is she Greek?
Hold on a second. It's George Papadopoulos. Of course she's hot. Yes.
Ralph's her brother, so he could say it.
Yeah.
No, beautiful Italian girl, actually from Italy proper, so she's a real fighter. She
Okay, I'm going to ask you something that you're going to hate.
Let me hear it.
Does she have to use like the Nair product on her lip, on her
Not
upper
at
lip? Well, no. Italians, come on. Hold on.
My grandmother had a mustache.
Yes.
They thought she was they thought she was Hitler.
So I'm not talking out of school, Ralph. Right?
Not at all.
Italians, and by the way,
hairy.
I almost married a beautiful Sicilian woman from South Orange. I was going to say Missouri, South Orange, New Jersey. And gorgeous, and I loved her dearly. And then she accused me of cheating on her, and so I sent her back to New Jersey. It's one thing I don't do, George. I don't. You know, if I'm in a relationship, I do not cheat. Period.
There you go. Good.
Are you the same way?
Absolutely. And
except that Trump, man, I'll tell you, he'll do a little rapage in a dressing room. How about that?
But nobody knows what year.
No, nobody knows what year or why a man of Trump, and even back then, his significance was so massive. You think for a second he would attempt such a stupid thing? George, I'll ask you that.
Look, the accuser doesn't even know what happened. If that even happened. I mean, the accuser's out there. This what's her name? E. Jean Carroll, right?
Yes, dummy.
Not a dummy.
Smart, I guess.
I don't know what she is. All I know is she's
an idiot.
She's an idiot. She's going around just repeating what she's seen on CSI or one of these like spy shows.
Excellent. Excellent.
And she's openly about it, and CNN, MSNBC, and everybody's like, no. She's telling the truth. We're going to take down Trump using this person, just like they've tried to use so many other people to take him down.
Yeah.
It never worked. He's Teflon Don, and he's going to continue to go on offense.
So as you were saying, I've answered this the same way that Trump, called me a liar. We found the liar, and so how do you respond?
So here's what's happening. I'm sitting on the couch with, like I said, my then girlfriend, now wife. I don't even recognize the guy they have posted on television the way they portrayed me. They have me with the sunglasses. They have me with looking shady. They have me talking about.
By the way, that's why I wear sunglasses. I am shady.
Are you saying we look shady?
I am. Oh yeah.
Hey, I have sunglasses right here, even in the shade. So I'm just not worrying about a courtesy to here, but I would have put them on.
See that? How good is George? Man, that guy deserves to be president one day. Please.
I'm telling you, it became kind of my trademark. The black sunglasses, the suit. Hey, it worked out. I still wear them to this day. But the way I saw myself, I said, oh my God. There's no way that this guy is going to say he knows me. Everybody's going to turn against me. Not only that, business partners, the whole world turned against me. And I said to myself, I'm going to fight back. I'm going to get the truth out. And the moment the truth comes out, we're finally going to go on offense and we're going to beat the deep state. And that's exactly what happened. And that's how the narrative changed.
Oh, no kidding.
You realize he was convicted of lying to the FBI
I know.
About a lie?
I know.
Russia collusion.
I know.
So you spent time in jail.
Well, 12 days.
I mean, that's a lot. Look, 1 day is too much, man.
I spent 12 hours in Van Nuys jail. I'm telling you right now.
Look, it could have been a lot. I'll tell you. Let me just kind of go backtrack for a second. Even
was it federal?
Hold on, George, because listen,
Nice.
the older I get, I have always been a truthful guy, but the more truthful I get. Van Nuys?
Van Nuys jail. I spent 12 hours there.
Yeah, know it well.
But George, you were in federal prison, right?
Federal, yeah.
Okay, so did you chop garlic up with a razor blade in there? Because that's what I've heard happen.
Hey,
I don't know.
You know what? I would have actually liked to get a job in there, but I was in there too little. They didn't give me a job. Actually, they told me, I don't know what the hell you're doing in here because we can't even give you a job for the days you're in here.
But when you were thrown in there, did you think at that point you would have to spend more than 12 days?
Look, what they were trying to do to me, they were trying to throw away the key and put me in there for life.
That's what I thought.
And what happened was the so-called lying charge was the least of what they were trying to do to me because they were trying to frame me like they framed General Flynn, like Roger Stone, like Carter Page, like Trump himself. That's why they're going after him, obviously, to make it seem that we were much worse than it was in reality. So what did they do after they tried to set me up and it failed? They said, now we're going to get him with a lying charge, the most minute charge you could possibly throw at somebody just to make it look like they're shady.
Right.
They got it on me because I didn't have $5 million to fight the federal government, because that's what you need. Look at Trump himself. The guy is draining his entire campaign coffers as a billionaire fighting these guys.
$53 million Trump has paid in attorney fees in the last year.
What was I going to do?
And this man simply could have gone along with his own business, if indeed he didn't run for president, well, they would have left him alone.
Yeah,
Period.
right.
Period.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
You know what? I'll tell you a story. When I was flying into Dulles Airport and I was intercepted by 12 FBI agents, and you know what they tell me as I'm asking them what the hell is going on here? This is what happens when you work with Donald Trump. I'm not kidding you. I testified under oath to Congress.
They said that to you?
That's exactly what they said to me. It's on the back of my book in bold quotes because it was the most bizarre, shocking thing that you could ever imagine. You don't know what's going on. And it was that moment when I realized that if I had just not worked for this guy, I would have been scot-free.
Of course.
If he didn't run for president, he wouldn't have had any of this. It's all about maintaining power for the Democrats.
Yes, it is. Because it's all about power and control. Unlike some of us who happen to enjoy and love the United States of America. We like the goodness of America. Doesn't it blow your mind, George Papadopoulos, that there are so many, some might say almost half of Americans that don't understand this, that don't get it? Or are they the youngest of the young who have been so indoctrinated that they don't know right from wrong and they don't care? And God has nothing to do with their life.
These are just called the useful idiots that the Democrats use. They are being indoctrinated from young through the corporate system, too. So it's not even just like being indoctrinated. Even corporate America today is taking funds from these major liberal, asset companies, BlackRock, Vanguard, that are basically saying, you're going to hire the people we want you to hire.
Nikki Haley?
Exactly.
Much?
Exactly. And that's what even people who aren't indoctrinated, they're fearing for their job security, their life. They're saying if we vote this way, we might not have a job in America. That's a totalitarian state.
But I must tell you, I think it's more than that. I think that these youngins are dumb as mud fences.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Right?
Well, there's no education
I think it's
anymore.
much more than that. I think
they throw away history. They throw away everything. It's like
being woke is never having to offend anyone, and being woke is never having to tell the truth. Because in order to be honest with folks, with our fellow Americans, with our fellow Yugoslavians, with our fellow Greeks, in order to be truthful, you have to hurt some feelings. It's not the end of the effing world to hurt feelings. It's part of life. But in today's standards, it's not part of life. Hurting feelings can put you into the big house.
Matt, I'm going to HR right now because you're just offended me.
Good. Good.
And Matt.
Ralph Odierna.
Because you, and I don't mean this, you know a lot of stuff. COVID was actually a Chinese plot to get Trump not to be reelected. They knew they would shut down the economy. They knew no president could survive a reelection when the economy is shut down.
I don't know that. I don't know that. I'm not one of these conspiratorial
Neither am I,
guys.
but I'm telling you, 50 years from now, that will be...
Ralph, I'm not saying it's out of the question. I mean, the crap that has popped its head up of late, the stuff you thought would never be... I always thought that it was just Lee Harvey Oswald. Just a lone guy. Always. I always thought that. Until recently, I'm thinking, I gotta tell you, the government is...
Are you whispering like Biden?
Yeah, like Biden. I'm speaking like Biden. Yeah. And by the way, I'm rubbing my legs so the hair will, right now.
Stand up.
Oh, boy. That's awesome.
Ralph,
No, it really is.
It as the C word, because otherwise...
No, it really is my legs.
What was that?
The C word.
Oh, yeah.
Don't we got to watch ourselves because YouTube will kick us off.
Because YouTube,
they've already put us in jail several times.
So
the bigger C word.
So we
Rumble.
Yeah. Bigger than the one that will offend a female.
That's right.
How about that? How ridiculous is that?
Hey, George, can I ask you a question?
Anything.
Okay. Why is Make America Great Again? It's like a curse word now. It's like people hate that. Why, how
because
is that
they
wrong?
hate Trump. I can answer that. George, you don't need George. Come on, man. Come on, man.
But I mean, seriously, how is that bad to say?
I'm not only whispering like him, but I'm saying, come on, man.
Yeah.
All right. I want to learn what it was like to be in prison for 12 days and how you keep your sanity and because some people might say 12 days, no big deal. It is a big deal. Next with George Papadopoulos. is Outlaw Radio. There he is, George Papadopoulos on Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio. An overnight success that's only taken 30 years. Let me tell you a little something about this man. This man spent 12 days in prison because, and correct me if I'm wrong, George Papadopoulos, he kept his mouth shut about BS that really didn't matter anyway. But 12 days in federal prison, and you might be saying, well, it's only 12 days. Have you ever spent a day in prison? You ever spent a friggin' day in prison? I have. Well, not prison, but jail.
2 hours is enough.
12 hours for me.
Yeah.
More than enough.
It is a son of a bitch. Because all of a sudden, everything you know about America, all of your rights don't exist. For the first time in your life, all of your rights are taken away.
And your privileges.
I think that's what...
Pie on cake.
So George spending 12 hours in a federal prison.
I've been there.
What did you learn,
than you.
George Papadopoulos? Come on, Dave. Let's have a show here.
I'm talking to Ralph.
Yeah, I understand that. Instead of a pissing match with Ralph. Jeez.
It's not hard to get in a pissing match with Ralph, though. But I mean, you know,
Everybody's been there.
Ralph and I came fisticuffs a couple times. I don't know.
It is true. It is true. But I adore this guy. I don't know why, but I adore. He screwed me over once. I forgave him. He hasn't screwed me again. So I gave him a shot.
Hey, man.
And that's the man, Ralph Odierna.
That's Ralph.
But this is not a show about Ralph. It's a show about George Demetrios Papadopoulos
from Chicago.
Spending 12 hours. Oh, by the way, some of the greatest steakhouses ever. And when you think about Chicago and what they've done to that beautiful city, we'll talk about that next hour, among a bunch of other stuff. But tell me about the 12 days in federal prison.
You started off by saying by keeping my mouth shut about BS, and that's exactly what happened. And let me explain to you what
Did Trump appreciate that?
He ended up pardoning me, so that's the ultimate appreciation I think he could have given me. But I was given basically the world on a gold platter, but if I wanted to go against him, spread BS, and overthrow him. And I'm telling you,
which, by the way, many have done.
They have. You look at just Michael Cohen. For
that's who I was alluding to. Yes,
Michael Cohen, others. Who
what a piece of crap.
Who just told stories to get out of whatever they tried leveling at them. And you know what I said to myself? I said, if I go around giving fake stories and then I'm scot-free and I'm living as a fraud, I'm a fraud.
Yes.
I can't live like that.
No.
No matter what money.
Are you being 100% truthful with me?
I'm being 1,000% truthful with you.
On your, you don't have a child, and I can't say on your wife because, what does that mean?
But you haven't taken
on Ralph's life.
No, that means even less.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I do that all the time.
If you look back, if you look back and just look at some of the interviews that I was given from Rolling Stone magazine, ABC News, The View, all of these.
The View? Wait a minute. I love that show.
Stop it, Marty.
Why were they inviting me to all this stuff? What do you think they were doing?
Of course we know, and especially The View. By the way, that happens to be a panel of the dumbest broads you've ever met in your entire life.
I mean,
if you want to get laid in an El Torito, you want that middle table right before the bar where all the chicks are hanging out and they're high-fiving every couple minutes because they're high-fiving about how men suck. That's the View. That's the George Papadopoulos. That's The View.
That's The View.
So as you were saying,
so and I say to myself, forget it. Let me go to jail. Forget it. I'm going to stick to the truth, and the truth is going to set me free. It's going to set me on the right path.
Love that.
And we're going to go on offense, and everything's going to be taken care of. I had that belief in 2018, not 2024. All right.
Right.
And that's what got me through it. So what happens? I've never even had a parking ticket in my life.
Yeah.
Let alone having to go into a federal prison in the middle of an effort to overthrow a president.
Heavy.
I mean, think of the stakes we're talking about.
Heavy.
Here. It was heavy. My name went through the ringer. My family went through. I mean, it was horrible. I go in there.
We don't have to go yet. Give me another minute. Go ahead.
And I'll just say, first things first, what happens right when I walk into that federal prison in Wisconsin? Oxford, Wisconsin. Beautiful city, by the way. Freezing cold.
By the way,
we broadcast in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, one of the great states that should be read.
Absolutely.
That should be read, because those are God-fearing, great, hunting, loving the First and Second Amendment people.
They are, and you know what? I saw that right when I walked through those doors in federal prison in Oxford. I go in there, they say, we have your back. Some of the prisoners in there said, we've been following your story on television. Nice. Clapping, having my back. They said,
hold on a second.
It was incredible.
Let's go to break, because I want to hear the rest of this. This is cool stuff, man. And can only be told by the man that was there and worked for Donald Trump. George Demetrios Papadopoulosl of the Big Dog of Broad Chasing. I think you know I meant to say casting. Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, and the greatest radio stations in America. Hit me now.
Wait a minute. Fill my cup, put some nigga in it. Take a sip, sign the check. Julio, get the stretch. Right to Harlem, Hollywood, Jackson, Mississippi. If we show up, we gon' show out. Smoother than a fresh drop. Skip it. I'm too hot. Call the police and the firemen. I'm too hot. Make a dragon wanna retire, man. I'm too hot. Bitch, say my name, you know who I am. I'm too hot. And my band bought that money. Break it down. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Girls hit you, hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch.
Hey guys, Tattoo Dave here. Just want to reach out and say thank you all for listening. We love you very much. We're talking about Wisconsin with George Papadopoulosl and Ralph Odierna. We got a great show going. We really appreciate you all being here, all you listeners across country. Great radio stations, Twitter, Rumble, YouTube. Keep it up. Thank you very much. And thank you to our new listener. We have a new listener. What's his name here? New listener, John Lamb from Hunt Valley, Maryland. Welcome, John. Thank you.
Said and flown it. If you freak dead and own it, don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, dance, jump on it. If you've said and flown it, well, it's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Don't hallelujah. Girl, set you hallelujah. Girl, set you hallelujah. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Cause Uptown Funk don't give it to you. Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe me, just watch. Come on. Don't believe me, just watch. 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 Hey, 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 oh! Before we leave, let me tell y'all a little something. Uptown, funk you up.
doohickey, you know, the doohickey that rolls.
Hi, this is Meatloaf. Okay, kids, you know what time it is? You know what time it is? It's Outlaw Radio time!
The most imitated radio station in the nation.
I'm through with standing in line for some fun to begin, but I found a good thing leaving me with a grin. It's time for Outlaw Radio to begin.
You have the great Billy Gibbons here? Yeah.
It's very cool.
He just passed out. Yeah. Hey, that didn't sound too bad.
At the Lighten Up Lounge.
Oh, man.
We're here with Matt.
Oh, yeah.
At the Lighten Up Lounge.
Oh, little Outlaw Radio.
We're here with Matt.
And he's not fat.
We got all these guys and girls in the house. Let me tell you, that's where it's at. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Allen. Pass me a gallon.
You know, a guy born in 1987, George Papadopoulos. I got to ask him, do you know who Billy Gibbons is from ZZ Top?
I don't.
You know ZZ Top?
I know ZZ. I don't know Billy Evans.
He's the man.
He's
Billy
the man.
Gibbons. Yeah.
By the way, one of us.
There we go.
As Meatloaf. Remember that singer?
Yeah, of course.
One of us.
I didn't know that.
Oh, absolutely.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not know that.
I heard that.
Why would I talk about this dear buddy named Meatloaf?
Right. Because he's iconic.
In such great regard. No, but what lefty do I talk about in Milton Berle, by the way, who I knew very well. Milton Berle, and this is for you over 100
I was going to
years
say,
old.
George is scratching his head going,
This is for you over 100 years old. That man would have voted for Trump. Jerry Lewis. You know that name?
I
George
do.
Papadopoulos?
Jerry Lewis, absolutely.
Jerry Lewis totally would have voted for Trump. These old Jewish guys in the biz had enough of the crap. And I asked this of Mark C.G. Boyer, who is sitting to the left of Ralph, to my right. Why? Because he's I'm an honorary Jew, but he is a full-fledged Jew. And I'll tell you what, meaning, well, not full-fledged. He's like three-quarter fledged. He eats pork ribs.
Yeah, he does.
Right.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
He eats bacon, doesn't he?
But, oh, yeah, he eats bacon, pork ribs, but...
Well, these are clean pigs, so it's okay.
His mic's not up loud enough.
It's
Can't
up.
you hear
He's
that?
not talking in it. It's
Yes,
up.
he is. I'm right here.
But why do your people... And I may not have to ask this much longer, because I think that religion, my brethren, who I feel close to, the Jews, I think they're finally sort of getting it. No.
Absolutely not.
And he says no.
Absolutely not.
Mark, pull that mic closer to you.
No. He's probably talking to the wrong end.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
I'm right here. No, the issue is the Orthodox and the ultra-Orthodox.
We know the Orthodox
They
are Republicans. We know that.
The rest of the Jews
Yes?
are liberals.
Which way outnumbered.
But by the way, I have no problem with liberals. I never have. I am so liberal in so many ways. It's these friggin' fascist lefties that I have a problem with.
I'm going to disagree with Mark, and I'm not a Jew.
Yeah, help me, Ralph O'Dearna.
But I hang around with a lot of Jews. And I will tell you, Mark.
You hang around with a lot of Jews.
I do. I live in Beverly Hills.
Mr. Beverly Hills.
And a lot of them have said, since the war have started on October 7th, a lot of them have said, this administration cannot go on.
Yeah.
And they will vote for Trump over Biden.
Yeah,
But
you got to remember, Ralph, you're dealing with your cigar smoking buddies, people that are a little bit off. They're Jews, but they're not Orthodox. They're not very religious.
No, they're not religious. And they're saying that since this war started on October 7th, they have switched.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
But
believe that.
But here's the problem as I see it. They're switching, but they're looking for another Democrat, not Biden.
Or Robert Kennedy.
Right. Or Kennedy. And I hope that Kennedy doesn't get some of that Republican vote or a massive amount, because, yes, we all like what he said about the C word and the flu that we went through and all that. We like that. But my God, he's still, as my buddy in Arizona, my best friend always says, he's still one of them.
John Alvey.
He's still one of them. Man.
Maybe Mr. Papadopoulos knows about a VP selection for Robert Kennedy.
Oh, interesting. You have insider?
Oh, boy.
Wait, hold on a second. George Papadopoulos, before we get to his jail story, we will continue. We will continue with that. No, we will continue with that because I gots to know. Like the guy in the Clint Eastwood friggin' movie.
You gotta know what you gotta know.
I'm like that guy in that Clint Eastwood movie. I gots to know.
Was it 5 shots or just 6?
Go ahead. Here's the deal. What do you know about a vice president for Mr. Kennedy?
I could say probably 99% he's not going to be selected to be Trump's VP.
No.
No, if that was
But the 1%?
Anything is possible. But look, at the end of the day, he's still a Dem.
You're saying there's a chance.
Wait, see, you said exactly what my buddy says.
At the end of
the day, he's still one of them.
Right.
But Trump is transactional, and if he thinks Kennedy can help him win, Trump has no issue with that.
Well, hold on a second. It's not just about Trump. If any politician thinks that X can help them win, then obviously, yes, because it's about winning. But for Trump to win, yes, does he have an ego? Oh, God, we'll talk to George about this in a second. He worked with the man. Of course he has a massive ego, but who the hell that runs for president doesn't have an ego.
But he's transactional. You can say whatever you want about Trump. You can call him the scum of the earth.
Yes.
But if he thinks you have a value,
oh yeah,
of
course,
absolutely.
You know what? You know what you call that? That's good business.
He's correct.
I was just going to say that goes for anybody.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's just
Yeah.
Yes,
common
sir.
sense.
Good business,
Which,
man.
you know.
All right, George Papadopoulos. So here you are. You're guilty of a felony charge for making false statements to FBI agents.
On a lie.
On a lie.
Yeah, right. And do you have something you could say at that point to let you off the hook so you don't have to go to jail?
Absolutely. And I was given every platform possible to do it. Basically, what they wanted me to say is that tell the people that you were colluding with the Russians and that Trump knew all about it from the beginning. And that was complete BS. And they said, you just say that. And I'm telling you an inside story that
they really told you this. They said you simply say these words.
Actually, it was even worse. What they told me is you can be the new John Dean. Wow. I'm not kidding you. I can't make this up on the fly after my bourbon, after my cigars.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was that crazy.
Wow.
You have a beautiful girlfriend, wife. You're going to be the new John Dean.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. That's the stakes we were talking about. And the media was colluding with the FBI.
Of course.
This is public knowledge with the CIA. They did in the last election, too, with the 100 laptop story.
Oh, yeah.
And that was their MO. You're going to just get this guy to say something on The View, and then the FBI is going to say, look, that's what happened. Then they're going to use their kangaroo courts, their weaponized prosecutors to take down Trump while this guy lives as a fraud. And then we're going to probably go after Papadopoulos anyway. So there was really nothing I could do except stick to my guns, tell the truth, and that's what I did.
George Papadopoulos, you and I are cut from the same cloth.
Well, it's called integrity, I think.
But I have said for many, many years that if I were willing to lie or fabricate some sort of a notion or not being so in love with vagina,
oh boy,
I would be worth.
I don't think anyone in this.
I
room
would
is-
be worth a gazillion dollars. Well, being a heterosexual male,
right.
and it's powerful.
Oh, beyond.
And by the way, I don't want to go off on another rail, George, but you know it's powerful.
Hey, look what I'll tell you a story about vagina, right?
Please. Go.
No, George, I was waiting for your vagina story.
We love vagina stories.
Get out of my behind.
We do.
Get out of my vagina.
And by the way, who wants to see whoopies?
Oh, no.
No.
Ted Danson
So
did.
George.
Okay.
That's probably where her
All right.
eyebrows are.
This was probably one of the most famous entrapment schemes that the CIA put together against me. And it's public now, but I don't know if many viewers might know it. I was shipped up to London under the guise that I'm going to meet this Cambridge professor who's going to help the Trump campaign.
Way before you're in the big house in Wisconsin.
We're talking summer of 2016.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going out there, and this professor, quote unquote, from Cambridge, little did I know he was actually working with the CIA. He brings this very...
I can't imagine a professor from Cambridge being on the left. That's the weirdest. That's the weirdest thing you've said today.
But not even just on the left, an asset of the CIA. And I want your listeners to just Google this guy's name, Stefan Halper, Halper. You'll see what I'm talking about.
All right.
So I go out there, and all of a sudden he says, "Oh, and this is my assistant." She has her, basically her
Stefan with an A.
Stephan.
Phan.
Okay.
Stepan.
Yeah.
Or Stefan.
Okay. Go.
So all of a sudden, he's like, this is my assistant. She's like 25, trying to seduce me, dressed very scandalous. And she's like, let's go out for drinks. Tell me what you know about Russia and Trump. What's he all doing?
Marty and I go to jail.
You want to go back? you want to?
No, you two do.
Oh, this is done.
Because if it's about poontang, oh yeah, you're in.
I'm in.
See, I'm not that easy. Not one to boast. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
I'm going to get her, but not tell her anything.
I mean, when I'm telling you, they threw everything in the kitchen sink. Basically, they had this person who was also working with the CIA. Not the FBI, it was CIA, just so you understand how deep this went.
How are you not afraid to talk about this in
Because it's all public now.
Now it's public. I wrote a book about it. It's public.
But you're not afraid that he might come after you in some way? Or
You know what? I'll tell you what happened. Just go off on a little tangent.
He already did 12 days
I know,
in the federal
I'm talking
prison.
I'm talking about uglier stuff.
But it's not even. But here's what happened. Because my story we're talking about here today had 4 different investigations look into it, including the most recent Durham investigation that just ended this past summer.
Mm-hmm.
You actually had Peter Strzok's boss, Charles McGonigal, who was leading my investigation, quote unquote. He's serving 4 years in prison right now.
Right.
Do you understand what I mean? So, of course, like this entire thing was so dirty. All of these guys were so up to it in their own corruption that they had to do, what did we say at the beginning of this conversation? Project.
Yes.
So they had to say, we're doing it, so we're going to make Papadopoulos find a honeypot. He's going to sleep with her. He's going to talk nonsense. We're going to use that against him. We're going to then say Trump's dirty too. It's all what they were doing. So when you said, am I afraid to talk about it now? Absolutely not, because if I didn't talk about it, I'd probably be serving 20 years in prison.
Yeah,
Trump
true.
wouldn't be president. This country's history probably would have changed, and all of these guys would have been scot-free.
And not that it's history, it's not
Hey,
changing
God bless
now.
you for just being honest and bringing it out. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
In the media, and we're one of those media
George,
platforms.
tell me about your time in the big house.
Oh, God, here we go again. No. You giving him like...
No,
Hey, Mark,
it's important.
Mart, is Mart drinking bourbon?
Yes, I had a couple shots. No, I didn't.
Look, this isn't...
We want to know about the showers.
I'm going to shut his mic off.
Look, this is an important moment, I guess, in American history when you had, for the first time publicly, an FBI and the CIA trying to overthrow a campaign and a presidency, and I got caught up in it. So, of course, I and others went to jail for it, just standing in the way of Trump, and that's really what happened.
George, how about all of the other folks serving time in there?
Oh, my goodness.
Thrown in the big house.
Yeah.
That's not America, is it?
You're whispering again.
Look.
Good, Mart. Thanks for pointing that out. I knew what I was doing.
The moment I walked into Oxford Federal Penitentiary, I said, this is not the country I grew up in, and I'm going to make sure that it changes back to the country I grew up in. Even though I'm 36, the country that I grew up in is unrecognizable today, let alone from...
Bet your ass.
Let alone what it was in the 70s, the 80s, and even the early 90s. America, if we did not fight back, if I did not tell this story, if Trump didn't fight back, if others didn't fight back and put those arrows on us and take a short-term hit, God knows what would have happened.
You mean the guys like the Bushes and so on?
All these guys.
And by the way, yes, Republicans.
Yeah.
I voted for them. I want a Republican in office. But my God, it's all about NIMBY. Not in my backyard. As long as you don't affect their gorgeous wealth and their fun, everything is fine. Trump is that rare breed that already has that.
Right.
And why the masses, but the masses do see this. They do see this.
They have blinders on, man.
Yeah, but it's a big club, and they don't want you in it.
No,
whatsoever. And they don't care how much money you have.
No.
If you go against what they want, you're out.
They want you standing outside waiting to get in a place you're never going to get in.
Oh, of course.
You could give any amount of money you want. There's a certain clique, and that clique saw Trump as that outsider. He saw his advisors as outsiders.
Mitch McConnell.
All these Rhino
Perfect,
uniparty.
Example.
These are uniparty establishment people that don't. They like to be just a simple dog of the Democrat Party today, and that's why the Republican Party has to change for the better. I think
this is not what our founding fathers thought would happen.
Of course not.
They did not see this in the offing.
No, they did not.
I mean, what has happened is so awful and so ugly, and
they're all spinning. They're all spinning in their.
And George, you have to scratch your noggin, as I do, that the masses can't see this. Now, yes, if it's Trump against Biden, Trump wins. I don't think it will be Biden in May-esque around convention time. I do not believe it will be Biden. I do believe it'll be this a-hole from California.
Oh, God.
Or, God
God help
forbid,
us.
the woman that I think would change the playing field and probably effing win for no reason except we have a bunch of, almost said it, bunch of frickin' idiots voting in America, Mrs. Obama.
You know what? We're already living Obama's third term, right?
Right.
Of course we are. Of course we are.
He's
Of
still
course.
pulling the strings.
Now,
Yeah.
do the people like what they're seeing? Do they like to see rampant inflation, an open border, chaos in the
Oh,
streets?
wait, we've cleared that up, George. No, we've already
We
taken
have?
care
I
of
just
it.
paid $7 a gallon for gas.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
God
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
We've already cleared up the border situation. We're good. You know, the Democrats wanted that thing closed all along. It's those nasty Republicans, George. They because they wanted that as a talking point. Well, yes and no. Yes, because the Democrats, those in charge, were the ones responsible for taking away every good thing that Trump did when it concerns the border. But now, when they realize that, oh my God, this really is a big thing, and all of a sudden, well, that's fixed. And I mentioned this earlier, that unfortunately, the American public have a very short memory. So they may give these idiot sticks in charge credit when it comes to voting time for the border.
See, the border is one issue, but I think the suburban mom revolution is real in America.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the biggest issue, that the far reach of the Democrats that they really screwed up with, is going after the kids. And I think parents, whether you're on the left or the right, they don't want the government controlling what their kids are learning.
Right. Smart.
They don't want the government telling them how to raise their children, and they don't want to feel that the government is actually the de facto parent of these children growing up in America today. So I think that overreach, along with the border, plus the World War III potential and the economic catastrophe we're facing at home, is just too much. It's too much.
A tweet from George, which was beautiful. WW3, the new C word ends with a D. It's called the flu that we all went through with the lockdowns and so on. But brilliant. And you're right. And you're 100% correct. Because that is the new COVID. It is. It is. And if you don't think that this last election was a big crock of crap, and I can't go on with this either, because we'll still be on Rumble. X will still allow us because Elon is not a bad guy. But I'll stop right there. Go back to jail. You're back in jail. 12 days in jail because you would not. And Ralph O'Dearn has got to appreciate this, being a mob guy and all. But your dad was.
My dad spent a lot of years in jail.
Your dad
not
was.
days, but years.
But for you not squealing, but it's not about squealing, really. It's not about that. But you're in jail, and how do you save your life there, or how do you keep your wits about you, George Papadopoulos?
Fortunately, by the time I got to jail, some of what we're talking about right now started to trickle out. I couldn't talk, I had a gag order, so my girlfriend started going on Hannity, Tucker Carlson, some of these big shows, and she started to say he was set up. It was a frame job. Look at what the characters that were behind it. So then people were scratching their head. Wait a minute, I thought the story was black and white. Little did I know that it would end up in 4 different investigations. FBI officials would end up going to jail, and the rest is history, right? So I went into jail from a position of strength, not a position of weakness, and that's what saved my ass. So I go in there, and people already knew my story a little bit. They said, wait a minute, this guy has courage. So when you go in jail, it's either be killed or do the
right.
or
Did you have a lot of cigarettes when you went to jail?
I'm trading. So a story. So my roommate, if you want to call him that, my cellmate. Remember arena football? Does that even?
Yeah, of course.
The thing that never lasted?
It never lasted.
Yeah.
So my roommate or cellmate, whatever you want to call it, he was the former owner of the arena football team in Chicago. So once I got on there, I said, okay, at least there's some people in there that aren't going to kill me. I might learn a thing or two.
Yeah.
I might learn a thing or two about
Right.
taxes or whatever they're doing. But then there were the gangsters. There were a lot of drug dealers. There were the Chicago gang members that were up in federal prison up there. So I had to strike a right balance between keeping my head low, but also keeping my head high and not make too many waves, because I didn't know who in there was a supporter, who wasn't.
Did they dig you, the drug dealers?
They all did.
They did, right?
They all.
I knew that. That's why I asked.
They all did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They all did, and you know why? Because anybody with half a brain, especially somebody who's serving time, knows who's been screwed.
Yes.
And who's in there for the right reason.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
And it goes the same thing.
What do you mean, Marty? Yeah, right.
Hey, man, I know all about this stuff.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Stop.
George, hold on. George Papadopoulos.
No, so there are codes in there, and that's really why I think Trump now is getting the support of so many different elements of American society who might have felt disenfranchised.
Meaning the blacks are starting to come on board. Like our Latino brethren, man, are just, I think, sick of this BS Democrat crap.
Trump will get 30% of the black vote.
I think so.
I think more.
I'm with you on that.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have to take showers in jail?
I did. Fortunately, I had solo showers in there.
Wait.
Wow.
How did you attain such a thing?
Look, like I said, we're in Oxford, Wisconsin. The jail people in there were supporters. They're, most of them are Republicans. God bless them. And they took care of me in there. They said anything goes wrong.
Well, and also, federal prison is different than regular.
I was just going to say that.
Yes, federal prison
difference.
is different. Yeah.
It is. But federal in California is probably different than federal in Wisconsin
Hell yeah.
versus Texas versus New York. So I got very lucky that they ended up putting me in the Midwest up there in the blizzard. I think it was December of 2018.
Yeah, it's cold.
And I just did
Shrinkage.
my time. I had shrinkage, met some interesting people. But the first thing I did when I went out is I went on offense. And I said, now that I could finally speak, I'm going on offense. And I said this thing was a con job. And then the rest was history.
I'm going to ask you the same question again. Did you know that it would only be 12 days when you were first sent there?
Absolutely not.
Therein lies
What a great question.
heinousness. I mean, having to consider this blows my mind. Having to consider that I could spend even 30 days, a year, 10 years,
They wanted
the
6
rest of
months.
my life. 6 months of my life in this friggin' place. The good news, it's in a great state of Wisconsin. The bad news, you're in jail.
And another good news is you got to take showers by himself.
More with George Papadopoulos next.
I've gone to ground. I'm watching porn in my hotel dressing gown. And now I dream of you, but I still believe there's only enough for one in this lonely hotel suite. The journey's long,
search rated number 1.
This is Outlaw Radio with Magic Matt, the man who is always right.
Yeah, I tell you, this Ralph O'Dear and a bourbon. Whoa.
Yeah.
Hello. You feeling this,
yeah.
Tattoo Dave?
Oh, yeah.
I can tell by the way you're hitting the wrong buttons.
I don't hit anything wrong. There's an agenda.
Tattoo Dave, our beautiful producer on Outlaw Radio. It's the only thing I'm good at doing. Stopping talking before they sing.
Hitting the post.
Well, being a top 40 disc jockey.
You are the Postmaster General.
That's not the only good thing you do. You make good French fries.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do.
Those are really gorgeous. Deep fried some fries last.
He is the Postmaster General.
I changed the oil in the deep fryer.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff. Good stuff. So what do you think about that, Wisconsin, that George Papadopoulos was in your home state in the big house? How about that? You know, you didn't know it. I bet most of... Because we have smart listeners and viewers to Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, and they sort of know these things. And it's one of those rare times where I posted this on several mediums, and they all like George Papadopoulos.
Yeah.
And a lot of folks in Wisconsin. So I think they knew. I think they were totally in the know on this.
He's a pretty likable guy.
But you were simply the coffee boy, weren't you, for Trump? Michael Caputo described you as the coffee boy for Trump. Were you?
Did you ever bring him coffee?
Your Honor, I don't make coffee for my own wife, and she's Italian, and she wants to kill me. Let alone to bring it for. Let alone to bring it for for Trump. I love Trump. If he asked me for a coffee, I'd say Trump. All right, I'll give you one time. It's on me this time. But it's not my thing. It's not my MO.
But how about this? You're on the board of advisors for cannabis. Right?
I was short term for this company reached out here in California. It was a medicinal cannabis company. Short term, didn't really see the future of it, but no, God bless them. Hope they're doing good. But
do you smoke marijuana? Have you?
No, I don't. I love my cigars and my bourbon, though. That's for sure. These are my vices right here.
Yeah, me too. And coffee.
I smoke a little weed.
And coffee.
Hey,
by the way, George.
A little. Did he say a little?
George Papadopoulos, could you give me a coffee? Oh, yeah.
Right, coming right up, Matt.
Coming right up.
I do like coffee. Why on earth cannot?
That was almost English.
Why? Oh, yeah. I'm drunky drunk. I'm drunk as hell. Why can't we as Americans figure this out? Why do we even, you're going to love this, have to have an election? I mean, why wouldn't this man who is quote unquote running this country not just say good night? Okay, well, you got Kamala. No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. And then the next in line and the next in line. Do we not understand how bad things are now? Okay, the jobs report. Oh, wow, that's great. Everybody's working.
No, they're not.
Have you, Mart? My brother Mart. You and I both know that.
Yeah.
But forget about that. Have you been to a grocery store lately?
Yeah.
Have you been to a grocery store over the last 2 years? Have you been to a restaurant? How about a fast food effing joint that you used to be able to buy a couple tacos for $2 to $4 that are now $8? That's not only this a-hole in charge of America, but it's also that a-hole in charge of the place we're emanating, California. That man,
Gruesome.
And $20 a friggin' hour. And not one to boast, I said this a few years ago, be careful what you wish for. Why does it cost a gazillion dollars to feed your family at a Burger King these days? It's $20 an hour. Well, they should be able to. It's a new gig for new people in the workplace. George Papadopoulos, why don't they see it that way?
Because they're not seeing that the robots are going to go take those $20 job, $20 an hour job anyway. And that's really what they're just conditioning people to do. They're raising the minimum wage, cutting the workers. You have, 3 workers now at McDonald's instead of like when I grew up and the good old days when you had a full service. Now you have robots bringing out your food.
Of course.
You're self-serve.
And by the way, again, not one to boast. I predicted that. I said it would become automated.
It's all
years ago.
Matt, when we grew up,
if
you walked into a McDonald's, and you're a youngster, but when Matt and I grew up, you walked into a...
By the way, for those of you listening to us, when he said you're a youngster, he's talking to George Papadopoulos. Yeah.
We went into a McDonald's. Everybody that worked there was either in high school or over 65.
Because it's a starter job.
Thank you.
It's
a stepping stone.
It's entry level.
Yeah.
But these a-holes on the left believe that that's the gig. That's the biggie.
You can raise a family serving French fries.
Because they don't want us to look toward the future, the bigness that America will provide us if we, not to quote AOC, pull ourselves up by the old bootstraps and do the right thing because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
By the way, AOC, do you ever run into her, George?
Never ran into her.
Yeah.
But, I think even her whole shtick is going down flames.
Yeah, I believe big time.
Her whole thing, that she's like the goof head, the airhead going on there talking, whatever she's talking.
Right.
I think they even got rid of her, too, because she became even too extreme.
Yes.
And the Democrats today, we're talking about the Kennedys and all these people. They don't recognize what the party is.
Of course not, because there is no party. That Democrat party from even 20 years ago, Bill effing Clinton would be a Republican today. We used to say that about JFK. But Bill Clinton, I think, loves America. He simply wanted some poontang. That's all. He did.
I agree.
He wanted some punani, as heterosexual males will want. And, and that chick that he's married to always... wants poontang like us heterosexual males. Okay, I don't know that part, but I would
trust me on that.
But gun to my head, I would say. But the bottom line here is that man loved America.
You talking about that man Hillary?
The formerly worst president of all time loved America. There are so many Democrats that loved America. That party does not exist today. And George, do you ever talk to those old school Democrats about politics and wonder why they don't see the light?
Because they can't. Because if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, right? And because the Democrats today have invested so much in these radicals that they don't recognize their own party, now their own party's eating them. You have the AOCs, what was it? The
Greta Thunberg.
Exactly. You have all of these characters that just like emerge out of the woodwork who are now hijacking a party and no one knows what the hell is going on.
How dare you, George? How dare you?
Yeah.
Global warming's real.
So that's exactly right. And that's why I also think that they can't get rid of Kamala. They can't just...
No, impossible. No, impossible, my friend.
They can't.
No, impossible. Yeah. See, and that is a beautiful thing because they can't, even though the Democrats have a real tough time with her. Oh, they have a bigger, tougher time with the old chieftain, but they really can't stand her. No. Do you think it has anything to do with the fact that Kamala Harris is dumb as a mud fence? I mean, do you
dumb
think,
as a box of hammers?
Do you think it could be? Because I'm telling you, that's a chick who in the 5th grade who's trying to recount some story or she was given an assignment over the weekend and she's making crap up during the speech. She truly, am I wrong here? Is she not the stupidest? But I'll tell you what, legs akimbo, man, you know, you can do a lot in San Francisco with the old mayor there, right? Right? We know what came down there. And that Greta, by the way. That Greta.
I loathe Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio.
Of course you do.
I love the accent.
And you can't throw her under the bus because, you know, she's on the spectrum and all that. Well, I can. You know, the fact that folks believed in this idiot stick. God bless her. I want her to have a happy life. I mean that from my heart. I want her to have a happy life. But her parents pushing her. Let's make a buck here. It's all about making a buck, man. And for Trump, see, it's not about making a buck. He's already made a buck.
The first president in history that never accepted his paycheck. Is that true? Am I wrong about that, George?
That's absolutely true. And he's the only president that actually lost money while serving for president.
Of course. Yeah. This is a man that you have spent time with.
Absolutely.
Who is Donald Trump?
Donald Trump, first and foremost, loves America. That's exactly what attracted me to him in the beginning. Secondly, yes, he's a showman, but behind closed doors, he's a listener. You don't become a multi-billionaire and create an empire by being a reckless moron in America today. Look at his kids. I'm a person that believes, you know, how your kids are a big reflection of who you are.
Great reflection, yeah.
Great reflection. You can't say that they're snorting things off of prostitutes like the first son is, right? Like Hunter Biden is.
By the way, how dare you?
I'm saying
I played in rock bands, man. I was on tour for a while, so I've done some crazy stuff.
You know, if you're a rock star, but look, if you're a rock star,
I'm not vouching for my brother, George. I'm not vouching for him.
I've snorted some weird stuff.
I've never snorted cocaine. I've never even tried a joint. Does that make me better than everyone else?
I'm gonna roll one up for you tonight.
Yes. No. I mean, yes. No. I mean, do what makes you feel happy as long as it's within the confines of the law.
That absolutely. And look, there are different professions and different behaviors that are associated with different professions. If you're a rock star, you live a different life than the Secretary of State.
George, don't be diplomatic to my brother. He made a stupid statement. Well, I used to snort cocaine. Who gives an F?
Hey, man.
Who gives an F? We're talking about the first son,
exactly.
Hunter effing Biden.
I understand that.
And we were also not talking about rock stars because otherwise Marty wouldn't be in the country.
Hey, there you go. Ding.
It's true.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So this is a listener. This is a man who built an empire and a patriot who loves America, and he listens. If he doesn't know something, he's going to listen. He's going to make people fight, give different opinions, and he's going to determine the conclusion of what's best for America on various opinions. That's why he never took advice from the intel agencies that were so politicized. Right. If he did, we would have been in World War III with Russia already.
Yeah.
We would have been bombing Iran. We've gone to war with China. We would have created chaos. But he said, what is in the interest of America?
Right.
How is this going to affect people's their paychecks and their security? That was all he cared about. That's why America was better off then than it is today.
And why did he side with Fauci back then? He only knows what he knows. Here's a man who's been working for the government for a gazillion years. I think he's a good guy. Is he politicized? Trump's thinking, nah, he must know his ass. He must know his crap, right? So he didn't know. And by the way, I'm not making excuses for Trump. I'm simply saying there is a right thing to do. So you still visit Mar-a-Lago, do you not?
I do a bit. Was just there about a month ago.
How jovial is he with you?
Actually, he looks better than ever.
No, hey, I just mentioned this a week ago.
Yeah, you did.
I said
he looks better than ever.
I said that son of a bitch is. I don't know. He found with all his billions that he didn't have to pay to that piece of crap who, well, the rapage, in a dressing room. That's always a bad thing. But it never happened. It never happened. But this man looks better. He found the fountain of youth.
He found the fountain of youth. He found he's always had his patriotism, but now he knows what he's fighting for once again. He could have gone to sleep. He could have said, I was a president.
You're right. Of course.
Go back home, enjoy my billions, my beautiful wife, family. What did he say? I'm going to go throw my hat back in the ring, and we're going to finish and take care of business and take care of what should
Now,
have happened last election.
what about George Papadopoulos? What about those who say that any Republican can beat the hell out of Biden except Trump? Save it. Because it's valid. It's a valid question. Even though I believe that Trump is the only man that needs to win because he loves America. One of the few. We'll be this after back on Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio on YouTube, on Rumble, on X.
Now we return to Outlaw Radio's Demons of Decadence.
Well, I'll tell you, I have some dear friends who happen to be Republicans, and they say to me, I wish it weren't Trump, because any Republican can beat Biden. And I then say, but do we want the best for America? If we do, we want Donald Trump, because it's not about money with him. It's about the love of America. George Papadopoulos. Do you hear this? Do you hear this? Anyone but Trump could beat him, and Trump, because he's so hated that there could be a problem, even, obviously, with the Republican constituency.
Look, you have Fox. I don't know what's happened to Fox, but Fox is,
off the deep end.
Yeah,
man.
they've gone off the deep end. But you'll see them pontificate and talk about this type of theory. Obviously, the Uniparty, the Romneys out there, the Liz Cheneys. They're the ones that would simply like to replace Biden with another puppet of the Uniparty.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, and that's why during this past election, if you even want to call it, what happened, it was a very sensitive issue. But
right.
There was calls to create a third party, the Patriot Party, because people were just so fed up with the GOP as a whole that people were saying, why am I even financing the GOP? What are they giving money to? What kind of candidates are they supporting? Actually, they're going against the MAGA candidates. They're not funding the MAGA.
And you and I both agree on that. There is a problem there.
Absolutely. So a house divided cannot stand. So either the party finally coalesces around MAGA, America First, and Trump, or it's not going to last, and you likely will see the calls for a third party to get louder. This isn't a conspiracy. People are really talking about this. Seriously.
Yeah. So what do you think? Michelle Obama, do you think that's going to happen?
I don't think so.
No.
I think that...
I mean, I hope not.
I think whether would they love to replace Biden? Yes, but then...
They're going to replace Biden.
But then you have Kamala. So they can't replace Kamala too. That's the issue.
No, they can't. They can't. Interestingly enough. So you think that Biden will be the guy?
Fortunately for us, fortunately for the Republican Party, for MAGA, I should say, because like I said, there's a Uniparty, there's MAGA, and the Democrats.
Yeah.
I'm with MAGA,
yeah.
and I think most of your listeners are MAGA.
You're married to an Italian.
An Italian.
So you say Una. Do you ever think unibrow? I mean, do you ever? I mean, they're
stop.
No, I love Italians. I almost married an Italian. Well, Sicilian.
Does she have a unibrow?
Yeah.
No.
Actually, she.
Wow, this just took a turn.
We went through the craziest story in the world, in which the media painted her as a Russian girl just because she's.
You mean your gal, right?
Talk about bizarro.
Who was your girlfriend, but is now your lovely wife?
Yes,
his Russian wife.
Talk about if you want to go down a bizarro world story. If you look at her and you Google her name, they tried to paint her as a Russian girl supporting me in the middle of a Russia collusion.
No, I remember this. Believe me, I remember this.
So, I guess she doesn't fit the typical stereotype of the Italian girl. She's blonde, blue eyes, and all this stuff. But it just goes to show you what the media will do if they're trying to screw somebody over.
Yeah. So you'll be at Mar-a-Lago, what, next month?
Next month, yeah.
All right. And I gotta think that's fun. Is that fun?
Hey, it's only worth apparently $18 million. I guess just the ballroom is worth $500 million.
But maybe you should bring Magic Matt Allen with you.
Do you golf?
Yeah.
Do you golf?
I
don't golf, but it has some of the best golf courses.
George, I'm talking about the coup d'etat and the beautiful wine and maybe bourbon and probably everything is on the house. A great dinner.
Hey, it's good. It's a good time down there.
You think you might get some langosta there, or soft shell crabs?
I think George should bring you.
Plus one, plus two, plus three.
Hey. P.S. Even though this is out on great radio stations throughout the country, we're going to continue a little bit with the No Holds Barred after show. Something we rarely do. But I love this guy so much, I think we could take a even deeper dive with George Papadopoulos, if you don't mind. And if you well, it's my effing show. Thanks to Tattoo Dave, my brother Marty. Why wouldn't you just play it again so I could then talk up to the intro? Ralph Odierna.
You lay off, Dave.
No, I like it.
Lay off, Dave.
He's my new drummer.
Yeah. I know what it's like to be hurt. Mark C.G. Boyer.
Wow, I'm lost.
All right, and George Papadopoulos. I love you very dearly. I'm Magic Matt on Outlaw Radio. I almost said my other network. That's how drunk I am.
Have another shot of booze.
Well, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to offer it to me. Please don't forget, bumblebees can't fly.
Bump City, sitting by the dance floor, checking it out, watching the man with the fast feet. Got the hippest threads in the bad boogaloo, a big old bag of tricks. Down to the nightclub, you can get what you want if you know how to line to the nightclub. Ooh, we be slick, 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 and all the people be bumping at Bump City. The joint be jumping at Bump City. To the nightclub, well, if you got the dough, the liquor will flow to the nightclub. Try on a drunk, down to the nightclub. We go bump, down to the nightclub. We slick, down to the nightclub. We go bump, down to the nightclub. Down to the nightclub. To the nightclub. Bump to bump to bump. It's Saturday night and I'm just hanging out, looking for a place to party. I jumped into my ride and it hits the road, 'cause there's only one place to go. Down to the nightclub. City, sitting by the dance floor, checking it out, watching the man with the fast feet. Got the hippest threads in the bad boogaloo, a big old bag of tricks. Down to the nightclub,
This chick, she got really fucked up, and she was driving her own.
All right, Mark, start from the beginning.
Oh, we're on? Okay.
Oh,
hold on. Oh, I'm not. Hold on. Turn my mic up, please. I got the others up.
Is that okay?
No, yeah, you're up. You're up. Okay. All right. This, my friends, sound a little loud, is the after show, the drunken after show on Magic Matt's Outlaw Radio. And why are we doing this? Why not? My brother was telling a story to George Papadopoulosl.
Stephanopoulos' his evil brother.
Do you know that You know that dude from Sesame Street? You must.
No, I think it was Snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I know my Sesame
The
Street.
elusive.
By the way, talk about indoctrination. Boy, they started years ago, did they not?
Because people would see him and they, oh, you really saw that creature? No, he's not really real. But yeah, that whole thing.
So you were saying to George Papadopoulosl.
No, I was just because he was talking about Mar-a-Lago, and I said, yeah, one of the girls I dated since my ex left me about 5 years ago. She went to Mar-a-Lago, and I said, I don't know how she got in. She didn't even know how she got in.
Was she a hooker?
You know what? I mean, I don't know. I dated her for a couple of months, and she spent all my money, and she.
That camera froze.
Anyway.
What are we doing?
All right, Marty, back to your hooker story.
Well, if you want to put it that way, then I'm not going to continue. But
But
she's not a hooker, my friend. It was introduced to me by Howard Lapidus.
hooker.
Hooker. That's a hooker.
And gorgeous little blonde, ex-cheerleader, all this stuff, and whatever. We were getting along fantastic until everything had to be top shelf. I paid for everything. Real, and I realized that's what it was about.
Did you have to pay for anything?
No.
Seriously?
Everything.
That's what I thought.
Everything. That's what I just said to George. Everything. And not once did she open her
Never.
little pocketbook up.
Never.
And,
By the way, women want equal rights until the bill comes.
By the way, give credit to Barry Goodall on this. Show it on camera.
Hey, Barry Goodall, we are drinking your bourbon with the Kentucky Derby lid. Hold on, let me show the Kentucky Derby lid. These are collector's items. Whoop, there it is. Thank you so much. We're all heading to Louisville as soon as we can.
Louisville.
Yeah, it's Louisville.
Louisville, not Louisville. Louisville.
Okay, you think it's Louisville?
No, I don't. And for God's sakes, I don't say Louisville. It's Louisville.
Louisville.
Is that the capital?
Oh, God, yeah.
No, it's Frankfurt.
Yeah. Ralph, what is this, a pissing match? Is this like Jeopardy? What is this? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Capital of...
Yeah.
By the way, Marty, back to what I was saying. All women want equal rights until the bill comes.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. And then it's all you. Now, I have dated some girls throughout the years that have picked up the bill, and they're good about that, because they either come from money or they're self-made. They're entrepreneurs, and they have their own homes, which is nice. They actually have a car, because I've also dated girls, no car, no job, and I have to do everything. It's like, what am I doing? But a breakup in that situation, you do things that you wouldn't think you would do, because you're lonely, and it hit me that way.
But would you let them pay for you?
No, and by the way, this girl...
No man would.
Well, look,
that's the question.
No,
exactly.
and see, even this girl, Shelly, that I dated for a while, she would say, well, at least let me get half, please. She felt... And she's a good girl, yeah. I said, no, I got this. But at least she offered. At least she made the offer. But I'm not that guy. It's like, no, man. I took you out. Let's, dinner's on me, a couple of drinks. Never took advantage. But there are those women, and I will say that take advantage. I'm not saying men don't take advantage sometimes, but women, they're good at that because they know what they have. And what do they have? The vagina. And they work it like gold.
By the way, Marty, you have been to the Rainbow on Sunset.
Absolutely, dude. That was my home away from home, man.
The Sunday after the Super Bowl, so in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maria, the bartender there, is celebrating her 30th anniversary behind the bar.
That's awesome, man. I haven't been there in a long time.
At the Rainbow on Sunset.
30th anniversary?
30th anniversary behind the bar, Maria.
Oh, yeah,
it's got to be an old broad, huh?
No, she's only like 52.
She knows where the body...
Ask George about old. 52 is old. That's old.
She knows where the bodies are buried, though.
That's right.
The bodies are buried.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, what'd you say?
You remember Santos?
Yes.
So he was there longer than her.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
But he's not there now.
Well, then Mario...
He had a stroke. I think he might
He is dead.
The problem is with that place is when Mario died, his son took over.
And now he's
there. You go, Mark. Go ahead and hit the cord and hit the camera, and
his son ruined it.
Yeah.
Well, now he's dead.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Michael died 2 months ago.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now the grandson is running the place.
Well, I hope the grandson does better than his son did because...
Oh, he was an ass.
Oh, he was a cokehead.
And God rest his soul, but he was an ass.
I didn't know he passed away, but...
Yeah.
So, George, why did you move to California?
I guess why does everybody move out here? Show business, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what are you looking for?
No, so when we first moved out...
By the way, yes, for those YouTube, Rumble, I'm off camera. But I got these three guys on camera, including George Stephanopoulos, Papadopoulos, and my brother and Ralph Odierna.
Marty.
When we first moved out here, we actually were shooting a docu-feature film about what happened, what we've been talking about this entire conversation.
Right.
They had cameras following me to the jail cell, behind the scenes kind of stuff. And, some stories came out about it. So that's why we came out here, just to film this docuseries. It's in post-production. And
Right.
I think we're going to finally see it this coming up summer.
So you fell in love with the fact that the weather's nice, right? Was that it?
Look, born and bred Chicago boy right here. I can't do Chicago winter anymore. So coming out here actually to do the business and seeing the nice weather just kept us here. But there are a lot of problems.
Well, California?
A lot of problems out here, too.
Oh, yeah. But I do get, taxes. I mean, how are the taxes here in California compared to Illinois?
Higher. They're higher here.
Yeah, much higher.
Much higher,
Yeah. They seem to be higher here than anywhere, even New York, or on par at least.
On par.
Yeah.
Except gas is $7 a gallon here. I don't even think it's that bad in New York.
By the way, the New York City Council just voted $55 million in prepaid Visa cards to immigrants, illegal immigrants.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
But they don't want them to come, but they're offering them this money that comes. So what is it, right?
What about that heinousness in New York? Beat down on the cops, and then they let those illegal immigrants back out again, and supposedly they all went here to California.
Yep.
Of course.
California.
I mean, why on earth would you want to be a cop in New York these days?
Yeah, but look.
They were talking to a New York City police commissioner, and the commissioner says these illegal immigrants will commit crimes in New York, grab a bunch of money, go to Florida to hang out for a while, and then come back to New York. And they said, why would they do that? And they said, because if they rob in Florida, they go to jail.
Right. And here, up to $1,000 or right below $1,000, you're scot-free.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so fucked. We're so fucked.
You know what? You should go back to Houston radio.
Yeah, well, I wish I still owned my house in Houston. I mean, I really do. And one of my great memories of Houston is the Magic Fingers bed in the outskirts of Houston with my girlfriend Helene Pena. God bless her. What a gorgeous gal.
Weren't you going to marry her?
Oh yeah.
Until the day of the wedding.
Yeah. I called it off. I had to. All of my relatives flew to Houston for the big marriage. And my dad was in the church playing some funky honky-tonk piano. My dad's a brilliant musician, George. And so everything's going along swimmingly. And then Helene, but God, this is why I love her to this day. She went up to me and she said, "You don't want to be married, do you?" I mean, this is the chick of... And she knows.
How old were you?
And she's the coolest. 24.
That's the golden rule.
24.
Right.
And she said, "You know what?" And I said, "No, I really don't." and I said, "Helene, I love you. I love you so much, but I don't want to be married." She said, "Okay." She came back with a priest, good Catholic gal, and I told the priest, I said, "Nah, I don't want to do this." He said, "Well, you have some pretty big balls, son." That was the quote from the priest. He said, "Better a minute before than a minute after."
Hey.
That was the priest.
Whoa.
And so my grandmother was very pissed off. She flew all the way there. My uncle and I went to Galveston and smoked cigars on the beach. He didn't give a shit.
Was that Uncle Dick?
Oh, yeah. Of course it's Uncle Dick. And we had a great time. But where was I going with this? We did have the honeymoon, too. We went to L.A. and stayed in the Magic Hotel next to the Magic Castle. Yeah.
Okay. Where you performed as a child.
Oh, yeah. Been performing there for years. And well, yeah, we are the after show. Okay, so I'll say this. Yeah. I said, "Helene," But she, we were there on our honeymoon that never happened. The wedding never happened. By the way, I paid for all of it. I paid for the mariachis. I paid, lovely Latina. Although she always said, I'm Spanish. I'm a Spanish princess. By the way, Ralph, you would love Helene Pena. To this day, you would love this gal.
Is she single?
Believe me, I'd be with her right now. No, she married this record pig, a guy that promotes records. We always call them record pigs. And a good guy, good Jewish man. Catholic marrying a Jewish man. I've always said.
I haven't heard a bad thing.
Mark just set off mic, or his mic's on. I haven't heard a bad thing. I would have no problem with my daughter marrying a Jewish man. I think Jewish men take care of their chicks. I just think they do. And so she married this dude, but the honeymoon happened. It was here. I was in New York. She was in Houston. And staying at the Magic Hotel next to the Magic Castle on 7001 Franklin Avenue. And I said, so, since the marriage didn't happen, are the kids out of the room? Yeah. I'm asking you right now. For you still watching us on YouTube and...
Earmuffs for the kids.
Yeah. I'm giving you fair warning. I said, so is a blowjob out of the question? And the answer is, it wasn't. Oh. It wasn't. That's a beautiful woman. That is a beautiful woman. And, there's more to that story. And she was so in love with me, and I should have been more in love with her. But, some gal at Z100 where I was doing afternoon drive in New York, caught my attention. And, just a dirty little whore. And who doesn't, as a heterosexual male, who doesn't like a dirty little whore? And so, so we were going to get married as well. It turns out I flew her out here to L.A. when I was doing afternoons at Kiss
You
FM.
were definitely making too much money.
Yeah, there was a lot of money. Yeah, lots of money. And by the way, part of my deal doing the gig for Kiss FM was MGM Grand back and forth as many times as I needed. You remember MGM Grand?
I do.
You probably don't, George. You should look it up. It was
the best private plane in the entire world.
It was the greatest. And then she, as I mentioned earlier on the show, she found an earring in my luggage after a trip I took to New York. And she said, "What is this?" And I said, "It looks like an earring." And she said, "Well, so what does that mean?" I said, "I don't know. You tell me." And she'd only been out here like a month or two, and I got her a gig at Kiss. And, good gal, by the way, to this day, Maria Armenti. But she changed her name because she's a female, and they love to do stuff like changed her name from an I to an E, Maria. That was her doing. Because, my identity. Okay, whatever. And by the way, I think I made it clear. I love females. To the point where I'll probably die this weekend with no money loving females. But I love females. I mean, just from the roof onto my face. Come on. Here's the bottom line. Maria, I said, "What does that mean to you?" She said, "Well, you've been screwing around." I said, "No, I have not been screwing around. You found an earring. Could be, I never and by the way, to this day, my luggage, all the stuff is usually in there except clothes all the stuff from 10 years ago is still there. And I explained that to her. She said, I don't believe you. I said, well, that's a problem because I'm not messing around on you. I would never do that. I would tell you it's time for us to separate and then let's go our separate ways. But I've never, and I would not mess around on you. And she said, fuck you, and threw shit at me, as women will do.
They're angry.
They throw, and they'll also use their fingernails.
Yes.
Did you ever notice that? Yeah. Yeah. And what do? As, we can't do jack shit.
We take it.
You have to.
We have to.
Right.
We're males. We have to put up with it.
That's why I'm identifying as a female next week.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a black, white, and at least Greek, a little Greek in me. So I said, "That's it." I sent her back to New York, and that was it. Because if you question my veracity, that's where I have a problem. I may be an a-hole, I may be all those things, but I'm honest. I truly am honest. And George, I think you're sort of the same way.
I am, and you have to be honest in life, and that's the only way that.
You prove that.
You have to.
With
You have to have principles. That's something we're forgetting in this country. People don't know where they stand, what they are. They're trying to be something they're not.
They have no principles.
They have no principles. They have no identity. They don't know what to believe in.
So this is what
everybody's lost.
Like. This whole LGBTQ crap.
Oh, the whole trans crap.
Oh God, what a scam-a-lama ding-dong this one is.
What a joke, yeah.
It's a scam.
No kidding.
It's what percentage are we talking about?
By the way, there's a guy in New Jersey went to jail, and he told the courts that he was a woman, and they put him into the women's prison. 3 women now are pregnant in that fucking prison.
Yeah.
So he's a.
Yeah. But those who are Democrats can't see this.
But you speak out against it. You're the You're the Neanderthal.
Oh God, yeah, we are cavemen.
Say goodbye. And by the way, Tattoo Dave, who's sitting down now, who's knee deep into the entertainment industry.
Yeah, he is.
He's got to deal with this
More than my knees.
Yeah, he's got to deal with this every single day.
I'm hush hush all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I mean when I'm around my guys. We talk as as freely as we want, but when we're around the bigwigs and all the people that are stupid and can't.
George, he's a big union guy.
Yeah.
Now I'm not a union guy.
The biggest union.
Oh, yeah, the biggest.
This is
explain.
Wow.
Tell us the
who
union.
may go on strike in 2 weeks.
So it's 2 months. It's in June, but I don't think it'll happen.
No, but you got to keep your mouth shut on all this stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but not when I'm
Talk
here.
to Ralph about that. He knows this union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's stupid. You watch them and you listen to them, and it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you crazy?
But why are they why in the unions? Why are they pushing in the unions?
The cream of the crop, the top, the producers, the showrunners, they're all left.
Yeah, of course.
Like
of course they are.
Hardcore left.
Yeah.
And they think Biden's a genius. This whole thing everything's great.
But do they really? No, they don't really think that. They really don't.
Well, maybe not Biden per se, but they are still left. And they think everything is great, and it's the way it's supposed to be, and we don't remember slavery, and we're going to teach our kids to chop their balls off and become girls.
Right.
And that's what they believe.
I just met recently a showrunner, Peter Linkoff, and he did the reboots for Magnum P.I., Quantum Leap, and Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah.
He lost his job because he had a cigar room on set, and the female writers refused to go in there because they were smoking cigars, and they said they were left out of the conversation.
Wow. Oh my God.
These are not the days of true America.
It's not surprising.
This is not where America exists.
He got fired for sexual discrimination.
Whoa!
For having a cigar bar.
No, because he said, I didn't not allow them in there. They didn't want to come in. But they refused to go in and he was fired.
So fucked up.
That's how the fucking switch is flipped. That's what happens.
Yeah.
They refuse to go in there, but it's your fucking fault, and now you're gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just
George, what are you doing now?
So right now, I work with Newsmax. It's a rival to Fox. So they're doing
No,
good.
by the way, they're doing great shit.
They're doing good
They're
shit.
doing great shit.
Been with them about 4 years now.
Good.
So it's been great to see them rise up.
Meaning what? What are you doing
As
with
a
them?
contributor. So, like, let's say, so Trump had a rally last week, right? I was on previewing his rally as like a contributor, mostly for Trump-related stuff, foreign policy stuff, what's happening in the country. It's been a hell of a ride. It's great to see them rise up and to see that the American people have an alternative to Fox.
Yeah.
Because OAN is great. Got a lot of friends there. I don't know what really happened there, but
Oh, wait, what?
OAN.
I'll tell you. I'm glad you brought that up. OAN, I've been a fan of for years. But the first time I watched OAN, I thought to myself, so they got a bunch of college students as anchors, and they're paying them, what, $10 an hour? And they're awful. The couple, that blonde chick was very good. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I think they're all blondes on there. But
oh God, the blonde chick. And by the way, you watching us on all the mediums right now, certainly not terrestrial, but she was a Spitfire and fired, and I couldn't figure that shit out.
She had a cigar room.
She was fired. Yeah, she was fired. And the older dude, meaning my age, was fired. San Diego guy who was in news in San Diego.
Oh, you're talking about
fired
Ron
both
Burgundy.
of them the same day. But OAN, the guys behind that made their money in pharmaceuticals, I think. But big conservatives and good guys, but never did it right. And it was Lori Downey Jr. that turned me on to OAN.
Former producer of this show, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Former spousal equivalent.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you're going to give it to her, give it to her.
Yeah. Go,
Well,
George.
you know what it is at the end of the day, even whether you're the most well-meaning, highly, invested people in production quality, people are tuning out to mainstream media today. They're getting their news
totally
from X, if you want to call it. I still call it Twitter. They're getting it on X, Facebook, Instagram, shows like yours, radio.
Look at what happened during the
But
strike.
George, what about the kids? The kids are getting it from
TikTok.
That's
where
their
they're
main
getting
source.
their news.
But look at what happened during the strike.
How are we not fucked?
Well, we're fucked. Look what happened during the strike. The consensus of the people was, we don't give a fuck about you actors. Who cares? We're going to watch old reruns because it's better TV.
Which, by the way, God love them.
Can I say
it's
something?
absolutely true.
During the strike, I found on Paramount Plus Perry Mason.
Yeah.
I have watched every episode of Perry Mason.
Did you ever see my buddy on there? And you know him too. Oh wait, African American. You heard me, George.
Oh my God.
James
McKeechin?
The great James McKeechin.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But I watched every
By the way,
episode of Perry Mason.
James
during the
McKeechin.
strike.
Right. You
Look
watch
him
every
up.
episode of everything. It's
Great American.
And I've watched every episode of Columbo during the strike.
Watch what's going to happen if, God forbid, we do go on strike, which I pray that we don't. Nobody is going to withstand it. The industry is going to move out of Hollywood.
They are moving out of Hollywood.
This happened in 2003.
I mean,
The writer's strike in 2003.
Georgia's kicking ass,
Right,
man.
the writer's strike in 2003. They built stages in New Mexico, Atlanta,
Tennessee,
everywhere.
kicking ass.
So people moved, but they came back because California brought back the incentive.
Right.
Now, the incentive being, whether it's still here or not,
Right.
if we go on strike again, people are going to be like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm done. It doesn't have to be here.
No, it doesn't. But, the weather is so nice.
No, but you're right. There's a buddy of mine who's a showrunner, and he's one of us, by the way. His show just got greenlit on Netflix. They're going to be shooting it in Dallas.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's talk about picking up my show. So
Craig Titley, you know Craig.
Yeah.
my show was canceled. I don't know if you remember, SWAT was canceled, and then two or 3 days later, it came back. See, I told you. 2 days later, it came back. Shamara went to bat for us.
Right.
It came back. We got a 7th season, albeit a short season. I think 13 episodes. But now there's talk about adding a couple episodes on and another season where Netflix or somebody might hopefully buy it, and they'll split. They'll do a full 24 and then split it into 2 seasons of
Here in L.A.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just hopefully that's the rumor that I'm hearing.
No, but my buddy's show on Netflix, they already said we don't want to deal with L.A. They're going to Dallas to shoot his entire.
Yeah. There's incentives everywhere.
Right.
Canada, everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I hadn't already owned a house in Houston, I love Texas, and I love the Texas mentality.
Yeah.
But I've already been there, so it's a psychological thing for me. I've already done that.
It's kind of like Arizona to me. Same thing. Thing.
But, could I go back to New York City?
No. Never.
I could.
Yeah.
No.
I could. Because if indeed I had a chance of changing that town, because that is the greatest friggin' town in America.
Okay, because you don't lie, Matt. How much money would it take you to go to New York City? Be
these days?
Yeah, be honest.
Oh, at the very least, $500,000.
Okay.
At the very least.
Right. You're not going there.
And they're not paying that in radio.
No, so
I was making that 30 years ago.
You're not going to go there for $200,000.
No.
That won't cover your rent.
And it's a shame, though.
Not in New York.
No.
Hey, George, I bet you like New York City.
I like New York.
I mean, great steakhouse. Are you a meat eater?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sparks is great. Have you been to Sparks?
Oh, yeah.
Well, people die there.
People die there, but the steak's a killer, too.
Matt lived through it.
No, by the way.
Luger's, Peter.
As a little kid, like 26, whatever the fuck I was, I had to go to Sparks because, it was, well, first of all, they were known for their...
killing mobsters.
No. Yeah, but what... Oh, sirloin.
That's right.
Just
Ralph,
simply the sirloin or the New York steak there.
Let me give you L&K.
Oh. I had a terrible New York steak there.
Really?
I know. It was weird as shit. And I'm 26 years old, and I didn't like it. I think it was one of those off things. Because I know it's a great restaurant.
Not to take you off track, because you're a New York guy, Peter Luger's.
Oh, yeah.
Just opened at Caesar's Palace.
What?
Yeah.
Well, not
Vegas?
just. That was a year and a half ago.
No.
A year ago.
No.
Yeah.
2 months ago was
No,
the grand
well,
opening.
you're
2
wrong.
months. I am telling you, because I was at the grand opening. It was 2 months ago. December, they opened in, because they took over Rayo's space.
Oh, okay,
What happened
yeah.
to Rayo's?
Rayo's pulled out, and Luger's moved in.
Yeah. You know Rayo's, George?
Yeah.
I love Rayo's.
Rayo's is good. It's good Italian.
Yeah.
I've got lasagna and meatballs.
You've
and
never
everything.
been to New York City.
I've been to New York City. My sister lives in
Oh, I
Connecticut.
thought-
If you've been
you
to New
didn't.
York, hold on.
I drove there. It's fucking.
I don't know why I didn't know that.
If you went to New York City, you never went to Rayo's.
No, I didn't.
I know. Because you couldn't get in.
But
I've been to Peter Luger's.
That I believe.
Well,
Luger's is the best.
It is the best. Well,
But that's
Go
not
with
New,
this here.
that's not New York City. It's Brooklyn.
what?
There's a Rayo's.
That
here,
is
too.
New York City.
I know, sort of. Yeah, I know.
I get their aftermarket products.
Yeah.
I get their sauce in the store, and I get the frozen meatballs and the lasagna.
But Luger's is in Caesars. They opened up 2 months ago. And by the way, they
I
take
swear it
credit
was
cards
longer,
there.
longer than that.
No, it's not, Matt.
Come on.
Matt, come on.
I don't have my phone on me. Hi, Schwaltz. I don't have my phone on me, or I'd research it like Mark's supposed to.
But Luger's, yeah, but how about this, Ralph?
the first time he's been awake.
Luger's given that bad review by the New York Times.
I know.
What, a year and a half, 2 years ago? And just took him down, man. But, the mainstays don't give a shit.
No.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. Yeah.
George, Schwally.
You don't have to talk to him.
Yeah, George. We do have this.
I'm not an official.
Yeah, this right here is possibly the worst representative of a human being that there is.
No kidding.
Wow.
Quite possibly.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
me?
Yes, you.
Swally.
You're pointing to him.
No, you.
I'm
We're all
pointing at
pointing at you.
I'm pointing at blue you.
Here's the thing.
He comes for free food and then lies and poker.
Hold on.
And brings his own food and eats it later.
That's right.
At our poker game, this man is a mainstay. Let me explain. He's the only one at our poker game every Wednesday
and Saturday
that the jury's out as to who he voted for. He's the only one, even though he's a military brat. Are you not? You are.
Yes,
But
he is.
I think he could be an old school Democrat that doesn't see
He
the light.
voted for Biden. Come on.
Did you or did you not? See, he's not saying.
By the way, if you ask me if I voted for Trump, I say yes.
Oh, meatball instantly.
If I say to you, Matt, yesterday, did you have a meatball sandwich? You say yes or no.
So, Mike, did you look up this man, George Papadopoulos? He's a very famous guy. Oh, he's had sex with Donald Trump.
By the way, he went to jail for 12 days, and he did, and he held his mud.
I held my mud.
Just once. Just because you do it once doesn't mean you're gay, right?
Whoa!
Yeah, it does. It does.
Wow!
It does mean you're gay. Yeah.
You gonna eat that hot dog or you gonna suck it down?
Oh.
Matt, how was that Cuban I gave you?
I'm still smoking it.
It was good, isn't
That's
it?
how good it is.
It is good.
Yeah. See, this one, I don't even want to light yet. I mean, it's because
That's
my
right.
palate is so jaded. But this is, if I had to choose a shape, this is the mother effer right here.
What's the shape?
It's a figurado.
It's a figurado.
It's yours.
Absolutely.
This is gorgeous. I mean,
good
this
cigar.
is. This can't help but being good.
Ralph, what do you think?
No, it's a phenomenal smoke. I couldn't afford it.
I don't want
And
to
that's why I
smoke
got it for free.
'cause it's so effing good.
And it's so expensive.
Which one is that?
The Figurago. The God of Fire.
No, that's different. You're smoking a different shape than I have.
No,
yes, you are.
it's the same box.
It is not.
But they're different versions.
It is not.
Okay.
No, I got the good one.
No, yours is like a 60 gauge. Mine's a 48.
I just said I got the good one.
Yeah, you sure did.
There's more here.
Thank you, George. George, thank you for doing the right thing.
Absolutely.
Because it's the right thing to do.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Ralph.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for getting that guy's ass over here.
He'll come anytime you want him here.
Hey, George, do you understand that we're pretty sincere? You know?
That's why I'm here, guys.
Right? So
Love you guys.
So Ralph must have
Love you
told you.
guys.
Yeah.
We share a box now at Grand Havana Room.
Well, guess what? I've never shared a box, but one day in my future, at my age, I don't think it's out of the question.
I will tell you.
I'm talking about. I'm doing sex shit here. Go ahead. Yes.
No, I will tell you. When we're not on the, I am opening a Grand Havana Room.
You're what?
Dun dun.
It's about effing time.
Yep.
It's about effing time.
DC.
Yeah, that could work. By the way, Grand Havana in New York was 1,000,000 times better than the one here.
Rob, what do you think?
1.5 million.
Top of the sixes. I had such great times there. It was a great joint. The one in Beverly Hills, and not to screw your deal, but it's always sucked.
No.
It really has. It's so LA, and it's like it should be old wood, old library-esque. George,
Gentleman style.
Yes, you're an old school. You were born 100 years old
Matt,
like I was.
Exactly.
When I open in DC,
London style.
We're leaving in May to open. You will be gifted a membership.
All right.
Which gives you what's that called? What's the word?
Reparations.
Reparations in all the clubs.
Yes.
Gives you
Well, because I'm a black man in a white man's body,
And you will be able to
it's
enter
about
any club
effing-
because you will have Reciprocate. What the fuck is the word?
Reciprocatum.
That's it.
Some of the line privileges.
Yeah.
Privilege.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike will never be in any of them, but that's fine.
Wow. Listen, I don't need to stay here and take abuse. I can go anywhere.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
home.
Mike is the greatest, one of the greatest tennis pros of all time.
Now he's a pickle guy.
Pickleball.
Teach pickleball, though.
Pickleball.
Old ladies.
Yeah. So are you going to look up this guy to know who you sat with?
I'm just one of the boys.
George Papadopoulos?
After night.
Who's going to take your money in poker in a little while?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to shut this down.
All right.
Hey,
great show, Matt.
Hey, by the way, thank you for hanging with us. I'm not on camera; they are, but thank you for hanging with us for the few extra minutes. You request this, you want us to do this, so we're doing it. Oh yeah, how about that bourbon, Mike? It's a good
All
one.
right.
By the way, Mike kindly brought us a gorgeous bottle of bourbon a few weeks ago.
You're in for poker, right? All right.
Bet your ass.
You're bet
George
your ass.
Papadopoulos and poker next Oprah.
Oh, man, I hope I don't see you on there.
Nice seeing you, man.
I don't watch TV, so
I don't
never
either,
see-
man.
I'd never see it.
man. We've been hiding.
My ex-wife's daughter died from fentanyl, and I was literally for 1 year on a suicide watch with her.
Shit.
George knows. So for a year, I was just dealing with that. That was her second child that died from it.
Now,
That's a real killer, man.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Joe, can you let some more in? Fucking idiot.
CG.
Fuck.
Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of that, here's my newest picture. I love it.
Oh, okay. He didn't disappear. All right, we'll figure out the seats for poker in a second.
George, ready? Check that out. See that over there?
Worker food. I like that.
Border security.
Yeah.
You guys play?
That's in Florida.